Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show today. This is Imperious episode 8 here on Bugbear's Basement, and things are starting to heat up a little bit. Our party was able to be successful in a pretty a rough fight they had last week, which is good. It allowed us to really kind of get a good solid look at the system, and I think it fleshed out nice here as we've done our switch to the Cipher system. I much prefer it. Matter of fact, I'm really starting to it's really starting to endear itself on me. I like it a lot. And it's unfortunate that the old Palladium system just kind of no, no. Steve, you need to work on updating that, Steve. Wasn't that Steve Jackson? No, it wasn't. That's GURPS. Who are the Palladium people, GOP?
You're asking me. I have no idea.
You're supposed to
I
say,
don't
well,
know.
Chester, and you give me all the information. What are you doing?
We have the books, GOP. Let's just look at the back of the books.
I don't have the books next to me at the moment. I'd have to go get them.
Oh,
I
Shit.
have I've got the cipher books next to me because that's what we're using
yeah,
now.
no, fine, fine. I will look it up.
Mhm.
Anyway, hello
Sorry.
everybody. How you doing today?
Yee yee.
What he said.
I
Yeah.
do believe that's what's the big old rotund lady who's black and acts like she's sexy? What's her name?
You wish I was Amber Heard.
No, no, that would not
Oh,
be
what?
I really think you don't know what the word rotund means.
Oh
Lizzo?
my
Lizzo.
god. Yes, that's
Thank
what.
you.
Lizzo,
Yeah.
please don't
Oof.
ever compare me to land mammal again.
Well, sir, I was not doing that. You did that yourself, so you're gonna have to take it. Um,
No, yee yee is a cowboy term. She is a overculturated pop
no,
star.
yeehaw and yahoo are cowboy terms. Yeet is definitely some weird modern
No,
sexual
no,
reference.
hey,
I'm
No,
pretty
no, no, no.
that's
sure.
That's not
not.
what yeet is. That's not what yeet is. Yeet means to throw something.
Oh, that's right. It
To
does mean to
toss.
throw something, but I've
No,
heard them
that's
say
not
it
it.
in an odd sexual way amongst the urbanese.
Oh God, no! I
Yeah,
said
we used to
yee
call them
yee, y
we
e e y e e, yee yee.
yeah, no, we used to call them ghetto, but there's new terminology. Yeah, no, don't speak anymore, Tower. You're not allowed. You have been disqualified. Okay.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Oh my god.
You have to send him texts through Discord.
It's true. All right, let me see who's the designers.
Uh,
Oh well, it is our boy. So he's the dude from the beginning. I didn't know that. So it is Kevin Sembieda, Matthew Ballett, Thomas Bartold. Oh, okay, I know him. Bill Coffin, know him. Steve Edwards, Mark Hall, Patrick Norwick, Eric Wujik, some Polish name, the Polish. There you go. So, but Bill Coffin's probably the biggest name on there, and Kevin. So I only know a couple of those dudes, but it is awesome. They did create literal decades of fun role playing, but yeah, I'm over it. I'm beyond it now. I've evolved, Bill.
Yes.
Does this mean he's grown a third eye?
Probably.
He's evolved?
Or
Okay.
testicle.
it's hidden under his beard, though. So
It is. I'm not unlike Chuck Norris. I have things hidden amongst my beard. Unfortunately, it's not a third fist. It is an eyeball. Oh,
Is multiple testicles.
yes.
wow.
Multiple. It's an
It's
extra
a-
testicle. Oh God.
It's a beard sack.
My wife would have to have a conversation with me, I'm sure. What do you expect me to do with that? Okay.
If it's up there, then what's down there?
Well, it's an extra.
Eyes.
Let's not
Chin.
disparage the host. Okay.
He's staring at his tidy whities all day. Okay, sorry. I stop now.
Yeah, it's all your fault. It is definitely your
I
fault.
am so. I am
the
chaotic
good thing,
neutral.
Howard did shut up though. That's good.
It worked.
It
I'm
works.
sent me
reading
a-
an article about work.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm just doing all my share and getting everything done here while we're jibber jabbering. Let's see.
I'm looking for the episode or the issue of Fantastic Four where Eternity calls Galactus his equal, because that chart yesterday still rubs me the wrong way.
It does, and I understand. There were Molecule Man wasn't on there, and
No,
there's others that could have been on there as well. That but when you take into account, Marvel has how many thousands of characters?
It's a lot.
yeah,
It's a bit rough.
Oh, that's interesting.
38,964.
Well, are you going to share?
Oh, yeah. So, GOP, needless to say, as of next week, the BNSF is shutting down a large section of the trains coming inbound. So, we're going to have a whole lot less California units coming in. And they're also limiting the amount of outbound trains we're going to be doing to California. So, they're slowing the link between us and the California port.
Why?
So, I don't know what that's going to look, because apparently between our yard and the California yard, we are completely fucking the entire eastern side of the shipping with trains, because we have no trailers and massive lines and no unit storage, and they're scared that our immense outbound is going to literally backlog the California port so bad that it'll just grind to a stop again.
You mean
and they
worse
don't
than
want that.
it already is?
Oh, dude,
I
it's
knew
fucking-
it. I knew it. Tower's the reason why I haven't gotten my Kickstarters fulfilled.
Dude, you know
Yep.
it's
What
true.
the fuck
You
is that?
know. You know.
The fuck is that?
It's
No,
your
the
fault.
people
That's what it
in
means, Tower.
The people in California jacking boxes are why you're not getting your products.
Yeah, no, it's bad, dude. It's and it's
It
all
is.
fabricated too. It's ridiculous, man.
We had 6 trains come in last week. In one day, all 6 trains that I touched, every single top box was broke into. Every single top box, 500-600 units broke into.
Just insane.
Yeah. No,
You're
it is.
telling me.
Well, that's what you get when you run
I
that
am.
kind of government. I mean, that's the thing, dude. You really don't want any kind of liberal involved in management. You just don't. They're good at visions and ideas, but you don't want them involved in management because they can't do it. They can't. It should be illegal to be liberal and try to seek any kind of public office.
Well,
That's okay. They'll just pretend they're Republicans and run.
That's they do that. Yeah.
He's just calling out all Illinois Republicans ever.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's true.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Well, it's true though.
Since
I mean,
Since
we have the
Daly.
data.
Dude,
Go back
we
and
got
look at it. They
Republicans-
can't manage things.
Republicans are anti-gun. How do you call yourself a Republican and be pro-abortion and be anti-gun? That's just... How do
Yeah,
you say
no,
you're
well, sure.
Republican and then vote Demo?
I wasn't
Guns.
being so specific. I would just talk about mindsets. And I don't understand why there is a
Oh,
pro
in
or
general.
anti-gun anyway. It's infringible. It's pretty well written.
Yes, I agree. If the military can,
and infringible.
I
Arms.
understand why civilians
All
cannot own
arms.
nuclear bombs, but there is no reason I shouldn't be able to go to my local dealership and buy a fucking tank.
Yeah.
Because if the government's going to have it, I should also be allowed to have it.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
sure.
read the Federalist Papers.
Yeah,
that
it's
it
true.
makes
But
it clear.
they're not even smart though, GOP. You know how you deal with it. You overprice it.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's how you deal with it. I mean, sure, you can go
That's
get
why
yourself a nuclear bomb.
food's so
You have an
expensive.
extra $1 trillion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the government just putting insane taxes on stuff is
Whatever.
so
Yeah,
only
that's how you
the rich
deal with
people
it.
They
Yeah.
can suck these nuts.
Okay,
Yes.
and moving on. Do we have a
Yes,
game
sir.
tonight or something? Or
We do. I was just getting all my stuff done, and it's done now, so I'm gonna go.
all right.
And Dave
Did you
really
get
wants to
your
know
papers
about ground
fixed?
pork. I agree, Dave.
What kind of pork?
Ground pork.
Why would you grind pork? Eat that shit in strips. Or
No, I
bacon?
think
Sausage.
Some of the best hamburgers have 20%
We mix them.
pork in them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I grilled tonight. Was pork and beef, and then breaded pork skin.
I
combined
just
it.
had
It's delicious.
I just had steak and shrimp and baked potato.
Hey, surf and turf.
Wow.
I
That's.
just had celery sticks.
I know. I had a bagel.
Oh, I had Texas toast also.
What the hell is a Texas toast?
It's like normal toast, but extra thick.
But bigger.
Yeah, cheese stick with 3 C's. You ever heard of garlic bread? It's garlic bread.
What, have you ever heard of garlic bread? Yes.
Why
Have you
do
ever heard of this mysterious thing called garlic bread?
Bro, yeah, but why
Yeah.
do Texans always seem it necessary? Why does it seem necessary for Texans to always put Texas in front of everything? We already have
Dude,
that. It's
Texas
not even
toast
their
is a thing,
creation.
though.
It's called country bread. Fuck off.
Country
the best
bread.
there ever was.
Never heard of it. Texas toast. I
What
know
part of
that
the
is.
country? Do you
Bullshit.
know?
Yes, actually, I do. I do
Texas
believe the original
Damascus.
thick cut bread style became quite popular in a little place called Maryland. I know you guys never heard of it. I know,
We
but
need
it's
to
okay.
I haven't.
we need to get foreign terms out of our food lingo. They're now freedom fries and what is it? Freedom patty on rye.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Well, I
Wow.
definitely got to switch over to the game now because it's getting stupid.
That was
Okay,
the,
yeah, please,
Getting
the
please.
stupid.
land of Marys. Yes,
Well, they have a little
Ooh-wee.
city there called Baltimore. It's an absolute cesspool, but you know.
What
it
the
is.
fuck is a Baltimore? Oh, is that when people can't
Apple core.
pronounce the word iron? Everything just sounds like earned.
Oh yeah,
Aaron?
you are one to speak. All right, fine. I'm definitely getting off that topic. Let me switch back over here. All right, so I put it up, and I'm doing this, and then keep
And
in
I'm
mind,
doing that.
lady, if you wouldn't mind, keep an eye on the chat because I can't see it. So here we go. Boom.
Picture of you, Chester, the bear.
Yes, it is.
Very nice, very nice.
Now, of course, this is episode 8 of Imperious, and you know, our characters have been moving along and developing themselves. They are tier 2. They've been on a quest here after they kind of decided what they wanted to do, that to get a ship, and they have basically come to that. We're going to be working on that today. Our team here basically were part of the Legion. They are specifically within the Octian Empire, which is basically Rome in space, is what it is. And they were legionnaires for a decade, and they just got decommissioned, you know, honorably decommissioned. And they decided, these four decided to stick together and, you know, face the world and see what they could make of it. And they've decided they want to get a ship and, you know, do things outside, whether it be shipping or whatever it is they decide. But that was their focus, and that's cool. So we're going to kind of work on that today. Once again, just to remind you, we are on the planet of Trans-Aegis, which is an important place because there is a junction point right there that allows people to go to another area. And the way it works here is, of course, if you study any kind of astronomy at all, you know that our planet is in the Sagittarian arm, right, of our spiral galaxy. And getting to other arms, crossing that great gulf between one arm and another is not easy. It's quite difficult and slow because in order to travel, faster than light travel in this campaign setting, you need to travel across Birkeland currents, and there aren't Birkeland currents between the two because you know the arms themselves are is effectively Birkeland currents. But these junction points allow literally a jump to it. So what's on the other side of this junction point is the what is it? The oh, I can't remember the name. It's the next arm above us, and it's something that depending on the ship they'll get, takes about 10 days to cross. So it moves at a very high rate, and it opens up a new area of space that normally they wouldn't be able to get access to. But what they're starting to find is that there were some ancient advanced peoples that had already found it, because ancient artifacts are a thing. Now, of course, they're in the city of Tyr right now, as far as their base, but that's not where we left them. So let's get to where they were, and we have pictures now. Of course, they were sent over by Harper, and let me just show Harper real quick. Where is she? Where are you, Harper? That's the problem with it. There's so much stuff. There you are.
Is the Birkeland current the same as Birkeland as in that Kingpin boss?
No,
He's that old.
He's that old.
No, but he's named himself after it though, which
Just
I did as an
confirming.
homage to Dr. Berkman. Okay. But anyway,
Okay.
Harper, who was offering them a deal, 50% off any ship, if they went and helped her friend, and they agreed. So they went over way well south, across the savannah that is south of the city on this alien planet of Trans-Aegis, and they met up with Lottie, and Lottie told them about the problems they were having with the people who were disappearing and being kidnapped by these insect people. They went and talked to Tradal, and Tradal, other than being a little myth because they literally put holes in their buildings, sent them in the right direction. They found themselves to Patrol Station 28. They went into Ramlin's lair, which here's a picture of it. I didn't have it all last week, but I found it again. It's good. And of course, in their fight, they had to deal with a bunch of Grindins, which were a pain in the ass. But the real threat was dealing with Rustov and Alexander. I do apologize. I said he was a rhino. He's a hippo, so deal with it. Okay. And in the end, GOP single-handedly was able to defeat Ramlin himself. And
Woohoo!
here's a picture of our fella. Yeah, he's
Mm.
pretty scary. So anyway, that catches up where we were. Now these guys have defeated Rustov and Alexander, and everything else in the base is dead. You guys take a few minutes, kind of looking around and securing stuff, and you find I gave them some ciphers, some stuff they found that are useful to them. There's lots of stuff here though. It's not particularly useful to you at all, but it is useful, and you have decisions to make. The only people that are survived are you and Rustov, he's injured because that big 20 point intellect shot that everybody took. It did a lot of damage, right? And it almost killed Alexander. He's literally has two might left, literally. Excuse me, not might, speed. He's got 2 speed left. Literally, he is almost dead. Rustov is in much better shape, although he's surrendered, obviously. And you guys control the base. Now, this is a base that was is Faust Tech base that was built underneath an Imperial one. So that's kind of interesting. But keep in mind those patrol bases are literally drop shipped into position. So this was built underneath of it. So you guys have some decisions. You have 2 prisoners here that you have to think about what you're going to do with. This laboratory is full, has a gigantic database. There's a lot of information here. Who is our sciencey people? That would be Lady and Lady.
Yeah. Lady and lady. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Bill is an engineer, so he does have he can comprehend things that he might not necessarily know specifically, but he gets it. That database that you can tell, Lady, we already said this to you, but I'll just reiterate. They haven't succeeded. What they were trying to do here, what Ramlin was trying to do here, is he was trying to reproduce the process that created mutants, right? Because when that happened way back, it kicked off. Of course, it started slavery, and a big war kicked off, and a lot of bad stuff happened. So it's kind of like they don't know how to build the Saturn rockets anymore. It's very similar. They don't really know, or at least publicly, it's said that they don't know how that process would be done again. And they were trying to. Ramlin was trying to recreate that here. So the database information here could be radically valuable. And there's a lot of equipment here and stuff. You guys don't even know what it is. So you have a decision. Your decision is, one, what are you going to do with these 2 prisoners you have? And they are fellow mutants. Clearly they're mercenaries. They're not Imperium, though. These guys are from the another empire. And are you going to? What are you going to do with this base? Are you going to call in the IAA? Are you going to destroy it? Or I don't know. What are you guys going to do? Because it strikes you that the information here in this base itself, it might be smart to have some professionals come in and take a look at it, maybe. But I'm going to leave that decision up to you. Just to reiterate where these guys are from originally. I'll show you it again. They are from the Star Republic, which is basically America in space. So that's who they are. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Checking on the data pad to see if there's any wanted posters for these guys.
Smart.
you don't see anything on them particularly, no.
So I was just.
Hey, yep,
Oh.
yep. You
Other
go.
than Ramlin, which there's an IIA bounty, not an open bounty, an IIA bounty for 100,000 credits. You know that.
Well, I was just going to interject. So, over. So I'm kind of because I just had a thought. Like I'm kind of in two minds with this, with the information that they have. Because on the one hand, it like this is all really evil, and like from a moral perspective, it would be smart just from one perspective, it might be smart to just destroy the information so they don't try to kick things up again, and take a bunch more people in. But on the other hand, too, if they were to try doing it again and they had this information, then maybe they might use fewer people, they to achieve whatever goal they want to achieve.
And keep in mind,
That's
you
that.
do work for the IIA now. You guys chose that.
I
You
know,
signed contracts.
I know, I know, but there was no part in this particular mission, like, because we were not under the direction of the
Nope,
IIA with
you are
this
not.
mission.
This is a private
So
matter. Hmm.
yeah, so if it gets destroyed, we were under no directive to keep it secure. But
uh,
on the other hand, I would say, you know,
That's an
just from
idea.
yeah,
well,
it's an
Why
idea.
can't
yeah,
we recruit them? But I don't know about that.
well,
I can
well,
ease in their minds, see what they're like.
you could.
We
And also, GOP, give me you are an interrogator. Give me an espionage roll, please.
Okie
Let's see,
dokie.
I
difficulty.
am a healer. I can't stand him not with only
Huh?
2 points. I will put band-aids and stuff on him, but make sure he doesn't, open
He's
his mouth. So I'm gonna have to wrap his mouth closed.
Well,
Bill
and
Margolis.
well, you might just want to have. We'll deal that in a second, lady. If you one at a time, please, one at a time.
All right, all right.
GOP. It's not particularly difficult. It's a difficulty level 3.
I rolled
T
an 8,
a TR
so
3. So I'm assuming you. How do you bring that down to 0? Probably.
I probably could with the interrogator and all that stuff. Well, I mean, what exactly am I doing? I'm
You're
trying to
making a roll
interrogate
for
these guys.
me. So here, it's a TR3. What is your espionage?
Mhm.
Your skill?
Uh,
Is it specialized or just normal?
so I have, I mean, I have my interrogator ability, right? I don't have anything like specifically that says espionage, unless I'm like,
Well,
am
that's
I
fine. That's fine. That's interrogator's
Yeah.
fine. It'll fall under that. So
but
that
that uses
skill.
it.
Well, hold on a second,
And I'm
please. The skill, is it normal or is it specialized?
uh once again, there's no interrogator skill that I have,
You don't
like
have a skill.
specific.
Okay, so what does your interrogator ability do?
Um, well, I mean, it is just it's a
It's a
changeover
descriptor.
from
Okay, so it's worth
yeah.
-1. So now we're down to
Yes,
2.
it's worth -1.
So
So I have a charming as well.
let's get our
So
brain in there. This has nothing to do with charming. This has to do with recollection. Anything
okay.
else?
Let's see. I don't think I have anything else that's going to help with my specific recollection because I don't have any like extra bonuses to general like intelligence rolls.
Well, just give me a roll
Um,
then. Roll 6 or above.
okay. Roll. It's a 12.
Okay, so no problem. You are you're thinking it over in regards to what you're saying about the situation, and you also but you remember that you guys did use the IIA database to research this situation.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
So
I
we've
mean,
been pinged.
So yeah,
clearly,
they know we're here. Yeah,
yes.
I figured as much. Um, But I mean, if we wanted to, and of course we would be discussing this, like our characters, if we were discussing this, would be doing it telepathically, obviously. Um,
Well, that's not. I didn't
but
mean.
it,
I wasn't getting that deep. I was just saying. You know, they know you. You know that they know you're
yeah,
here.
yeah,
That
yeah.
we're here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't have no points to spend right now anyway.
Well, do you have any healing left?
I
Oh,
still have
yep.
that.
But by the way, hold on a second. Thank you for reminding me, lady. And we got to
You're
deal with
welcome.
what you wanted to do anyway. When I did that 20-point wave to everything here, you on the other hand, I failed to ask because you are a scion. Do you have any psychic defenses?
Yeah,
Oh, well, okay.
just one thing though.
What is it though? Tell me what it is.
Let me find it. Come on, yeah. Was a task of trained with resistance of mental effects.
And
That's all it said.
so it's just a resistance roll
It's just
on a
training.
give one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say that that's got to give you some armor to it, and so you're just trained. It's not specialized. So write down next to that 1 armor of mental resistance, and if you specialize in, I'll jump it up to 3. So you have 1 armor against any kind of attacks like that. So reduce. You're probably are you? Do you have any might left, or are you completely on speed in your pool?
It was 20 points, right?
It was. So, your mental's probably wiped out because it was a directly mental one. Was that enough damage to take your might all the way down to 0 as
Hang
well?
on, let me look back on my journal to see what kind of points I had left in intel before we were hit.
Well, no, it wouldn't matter. But I'm pretty
Well, because
sure
my
if
max is 26,
yeah,
so
see,
hang
okay,
on.
so you were fine. All right then. So because I remember everyone was still walking. So I
Yeah,
just wanted to check that. So just write that down. You do have 1 armor versus mental attacks. You should have something
okay,
like that. And I'm
okay.
sure there's some other power that could be taken that it will even be more than that. But nevertheless, all right. So, lady, you were thinking about what to do with Rostov and Alexander. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alexander's been the worst to us because of that fire breath, and he's the one that's the weakest. As a doctor, I'm empathic to someone who's wounded, and I want to make sure they just don't die on us, so I will stabilize him. We will keep him weak, make sure he's restrained, make sure he can't breathe his fire at us, but he can still talk. You know how you can talk with your jaws still locked?
Well, lady, you do
Yeah.
have a pro at this very thing standing right next to you.
I'll hold his mouth shut.
That's no, not you. GOP is actually an interrogator, and you've seen him work before.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You want to
This is,
interrogate this guy?
yeah, so none of them speak my language, right?
Oh no,
They just
Alexander does. He's quite broken,
okay.
but because they're speaking whatever English is evolved into. Although Rustov seems to be speaking whatever Russian has turned into. You don't know if he speaks this other American language as well. But he was speaking a different language. But Alexander seemed to understand him though. But Alexander is speaking this English.
Hmm. And I don't speak
English?
English,
No, I
so
don't know if you got. Well, I don't know. Do you guys have any kind of language skills? Anybody?
no, there was one power I could have picked up, but seemed like it was so random because it's like how often is this gonna happen? But I guess it's something I should consider in the future.
Well, being an interrogator, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, being a pilot, the international, I don't know if
No,
this would count in our
no.
future,
We're
but the
3,000 years in
international
the
language is
future. No, no,
I wasn't sure if it would count because the international language of the skies is English.
no,
So,
no,
just saying.
no,
Damn.
no.
I tried.
You guys are all speaking Italian. Deal with it.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, it's
God,
romantic
no.
language.
Mamma mia!
God damn it. Oh, why would you do this to me?
Oh,
No,
man.
but I mean, I'm just joking around, Tower. We are 3,000 years in the future. Language has become a little separated. Although,
And
to
there's
be
probably some
fair,
kind of translator then
We
somewhere.
speak
I'm
Klingon.
trying to work it out right now, lady.
Okay.
To be fair, there probably would be some galactic ease that would have come into play. You would think so. And
Interlac.
Interlac, yeah. Also, Bill, I would think that GOP would have some kind of an interpreter technology, seeing as it's his job.
That would make sense, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I might have bought something like that when we were doing Palladium, had that been an option,
Well, yeah,
and
no,
had I been a regular back then.
that's
But
all
yeah.
right. We're working it out. I would say that built into your personal your PDA, because everyone has one. You actually have the old code that you used when you were in the Imperium. So you would have a translator device. It just I just you would have it. It makes sense.
Mhm. Okay. And because I'm also assuming that we've had enough time passed where I've weaved my way back over to them. Because remember that passage was
Oh no,
blocked.
no, time has passed. If you guys have
Okay.
taken a heal or two, I'm so sure
All
you
right.
have. We're just trying to wrap this up and make decisions. But you're over there,
Okay.
GOP, and you have a device to communicate with him. So she is well, you guys role play it. Go ahead.
All right. And wait, let's see. So, well, boys, seems to be a pretty conundrum. You're pretty interesting conundrum. Tell me, since we're in this situation and we want to make things more friendly, uh, do you happen to know who the doctor was working for? I'm gonna roll my persuasion.
Yeah, against we're just gonna call it a lev TR3.
Okay, so um, let me pull this up because if it's a TR3, I've already succeeded because my persuasion's way higher. Uh, all right. So what do they say?
Okay. Let me bring this back up. Lady, could you do me
Yes.
a favor and mute yourself when you're not speaking because we're getting echo coming out of you.
Of course.
Thank you. All right. So they get the gist of what you're saying, and of course your role's quite high. You're good at that. They say that they don't really know. Well, Alexander does the talking. Rustov doesn't say much, but it kind of seems like that's the way he usually is. Alexander's really beat up, and he's not good shape. But Lady is patching him up, and he says that. They don't really know what the doctor was up to in that regard. They know he's doing experimentations, which it seems that Rustov was will question Alexander many times why they were working for this creature, but Alexander has kept reassuring the money was good. So these guys have worked together. You can tell for quite a while. They're a team and they're mercenaries. They don't really know, like I said, what Ramlin was doing particularly. They just know that the money was good, and that's about it, dude. These are muscle for hire. That's all they are.
Well, because I'm thinking that he he has enough money to hire all these mercenaries, and like for a long period of time he's been out here operating. So he can't, and he's been off grid, so he's not able to probably connect to his personal funds. I'm sure that would have been closed down to him. If he's if he's rogue. So
Yeah, you
I
would
would
have to go to the
say,
IIA for that to know more.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just logically in my head, I'm thinking this. So the idea ultimately is that there's probably somebody funding this, what he's doing out here. You know.
What would be your
So,
guess?
well, considering the design of the tunnelways, it's
Wow.
probably it's probably what the hell is that corporation? Faust.
Faust
Faust
Industries.
Industries.
Yeah,
Faust
Faust.
I'm
Industries.
guessing Faust Industries is behind this, but that's just my on the surface guess, just from the bits of details I've gathered.
Right.
I'm gonna ask the two what they know about Faust Industries. If they've had any connection to them.
Um, he looks at you sideways.
I would assume they would. I mean, it's okay. Well, when I was back by the doctor, I'm assuming I would have searched his corpse. Did I find like a cell phone or any sort of information on him that would give me any
Um, no,
anything?
but most of the tech and stuff you guys see in here is way beyond you. You just don't know what you're looking at. I'm trying to impart that feeling upon you. You found a
Yeah.
few
Hey,
because you guys have been searching this for a while. All right, this is where we're a
Mhm.
good 30 minutes, 45 minutes after you guys patch yourself up. You're dealing with these guys. You're looking around, and you found a few items that you were useful to you, and you've taken them. But everything else is way beyond you, right? Even
hey,
Lady doesn't
GOP.
recognize.
So we can do a couple recovery rolls then. The
Yeah, no, you
one
can. You
action
can. Yes, you can.
up to an hour.
Yeah, up to an hour. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
What were you
GOP.
saying?
Ask them how they got here. Like, do they have a ship or?
Sure. I'll ask Alexander how they found their way here.
He says that they were working for some people in the. Let me find it real quick, and I'll show it off. Hold on a second. They were working for some people in the Hellnix Consortium, which automatically that because that is one of the big their arms, their intergalactic arms of the Hellnix Consortium is Faust,
Okay.
right?
That makes sense.
But they were working in the Hellnix Consortium. They had gotten work over there, and they were hired via VidLink, not even VidLink, just email basically, and they were picked up by the Grindin, sorry, and brought here about a year and a half ago.
Hmm.
The consortium is the people where if you're not human, you're a slave, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then Why would they give mutants, even mercenaries, time of day? Wouldn't
Good
they want to
question.
enslave them?
It's a good question.
Just,
He
just
doesn't
saying.
know. You guys are talking to him for the first time, actually having a conversation. They're not particularly smart.
Yeah. That's true.
It is a good question, though. Why would the Hellnix Consortium have anything to do with mutants? It's a fair
Yeah. Why
question.
would they? Well, so like, they said they were in the consortium at the time, or they just got hired from by someone in the consortium.
They were hired in for something, and they were working in the consortium. He said they were working. You ask him the question, and he says they were working for a guy who was transporting black market goods between the Star Republic and the Hellnix Consortium.
Okay. Well, they don't seem to know. Well, yeah, they don't seem to know very much.
No, they don't.
Um. Yeah. So I guess the question now is honestly what are we going to do with the information ultimately?
What are you gonna do with
Um.
the base, all the
Yeah. What are we
equipment,
going to do
the
with the base?
information, and the mercenaries?
Well, I'm sure a lot of the equipment, we can probably get extra money from the turning it into the IIA, but because there's just so much stuff we wouldn't even know where to sell it. We don't even know what it is. You
Well,
know.
I'm of two minds if I can interject. The this is a huge threat to. They've infiltrated. They've been operating for years. Their methodology is really to undermine the Imperium.
Yeah.
We should implement.
I mean, really, the subject. I mean, what they've been studying is problematic because if they learn how to control the mutant gene, anybody, um, that could be catastrophic for our race. They could wipe us out, or they could just totally proliferate, or they could mind control. But there seems to be no end to the way that they can what they could do once they know how to control every genome in our in our random DNA. So
Yeah.
I partially feel like this research has to be better off gone and destroyed. If we destroy it, we could be facing, life in prison or being on the run from the Imperium. Doesn't give us a lot of options.
Here's my idea, Bill. So Alexander and Rustov, because of their scheming, I think we should turn them call the Imperium and turn them in for
Absolutely.
their crimes.
Yeah.
I honestly believe we should just turn the lab over to the IIA, but I think it would be smart for Lady to take a backup off of one of the computers, if she can, to try to get like a stored flash drive of some of this information, where maybe we can have someone look into it later.
I can answer.
I get that.
Lady can answer that question for you right now. Impossible.
Yeah, it's got a huge amount of data.
It's literally an entire bank of 3,000 year advanced computers holding that information. There's no way.
Then let's just take a photo of it and save it for later.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Either
just take a photo of their PC setup and then call the Imperium and have them take a look at it.
I'm glad you're in charge.
Okay, all right. The question is either we destroy it or we turn it in.
We turn it in. If we destroy it, that is just we're legionnaires.
They're going to be questioning why did we destroy it type of thing. Yeah, I say we should.
We are not an espionage crew. We're a scout crew for the Legion. We should turn it in, let them do their thing. So,
and keep in mind, Bill,
are there any
this could be the inception of your character arc, by the way.
It could be. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could take this and run with it too.
True.
Dude, the amount of money we would get between the contract, the half off on the ship, turning these guys in, probably what the IA would give us for turning the whole lab in general, we could buy a big old cruiser, guy. We'd be
definitely get a bump up on the ranks too. But
yeah, better gear. I mean, space pimping, it would be just straight out good for us.
Yeah, we might put a target on our backs if we destroy it. I wasn't even really thinking about that before.
Yeah, dude, let the Imperium deal with it.
Can we take it with us?
We can't. Dude, we
can't. That, dude.
Yeah,
it's too much. Yeah. So the consensus is to call the IIA.
After we've gone, look through everything, pick up what we want to keep,
You did.
I don't. No, that's a dumb idea. There's something I really want to do, but it's probably a dumb idea.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I sort of want to take one of Alexander's teeth, just as a.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone needs to rein in this.
No. Get back. We don't mutilate prisoners.
Yeah, especially still fellow soldiers. Yeah.
Repeat after me, Blue. Say it. We don't. Come on, Blue.
No prisoners of war.
We don't mutilate POWs.
Yeah, we don't.
I grab one of the random heads of one of the dead Grindon. Here, keep this secret trophy now. Please don't mess with the prisoners.
Yeah, it's weird. My dad, when he was, because he was a recon sergeant in Vietnam, and he actually sent one of his guys back because he was, I know it sounds cliche, but it really happened. That's why you see in the movies, because he was literally collecting ears.
Wow.
So my dad sent him out.
That's good. That's good because that's dark, man. That's someone who's gone a little, who's the war has turned them
not good. And those recon guys, they're pretty vicious sons of bitches, right?
Wow. Yeah. Oh, Blue. I'm getting worried about Blue.
Yeah, no, you should be. You should be worried about Blue. Yeah.
The whole party is worried about the whole party.
That's fair.
Okay, so now,
I'll be worried
all
about
right. So, but the GM, yeah. Take a picture of his teeth and then hang it from your neck.
There you go.
But we could. How could we use this to further? I mean, just the information itself, to use that to start to bring people together or bring mutants together, knowing that this is what's going on. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how I could use it. I'm just not being very creative at the moment.
Oh,
Your
I'm
idea
trying to.
about the mutant thing, best look, there's probably already a party started.
Huh?
What he wants to do about saving other mutants, there's probably a group already out there doing it.
Oh, there is. You know there is. You've heard of it before. The mythical and legendary group that's fighting within the Hellnix Consortium.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Anyway,
Mutant
all right.
Intergalactic Liberation Front.
Let's move this along. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So you guys call the IAA. They're there in 30 minutes with a gigantic ship hovering overhead. Of course they are. This place is very quickly flooded with all manner of IA agents. You guys get 2 free stim injections as they come in. Medical tries to deal with you and try to help you. So everyone, please roll 2d6 plus 4 and add it to whatever pool you want. Okay.
Okay.
Then they do take in the mercenaries into custody. They are and they're just kind of looking over the entire laboratory and stuff. And about 30 minutes after that, after you guys have been, they've tried to heal you up some, and no one really asks you many questions, really. They just kind of come in and do what they do. However, you do have someone arrive 30 minutes after that, so an hour after the fact. Legate Gallius walks into the room you guys are in. Literally, he himself has come. And he has, you've never seen this before, but you think he's smiling, maybe?
Mm.
Possibly. And he comes over and he says, "Well, very good job. Ramlin has been a desired target for quite a while. You've earned yourself some credits. I don't know if you're aware of that or not."
I
Yes,
like
sir.
money.
He says wryly. And he sits down and he does a really quick debriefing with you. Are you guys going to just answer him freely, or are you going to hold back information?
I believe answer freely.
Yeah, I don't think there's any information that would be prudent to hold back. I mean,
Okay.
that he could himself. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Fine. And you're right. There's no reason not to. When you do mention Harper, he smiles, and some reason he thinks that's interesting that you're working for Harper. But he says, of course, we'll have the credits. He reiterates it's 100,000 for this, and he looks at the quartermaster over there, and he says, "I'm sure the techs will have that in your account shortly." But he also explains a little bit more about the IIA, because you guys you did sign a contract with them and you guys have a license by them. But in essence, you're not even agents yet, right? You guys are just like trainees, neophytes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way I'm going to run this with the IIA is this way. Um, you're going to have reputation with the IIA. You already had 20 points of reputation with them. Every 100 points of reputation you get gives you a rank within their system. Okay, so right now you're neophytes, you're not even ranked. For this right here, he gives you an additional 50 for doing this job. So you guys are sitting on 70 reputation with the IIA. Okay, when you hit 100, you guys will be considered agents, and then every 100 beyond that is further higher ranks, which also means more access. So you guys are sitting on 70 right now, as far as that goes. And he doesn't mention anything about any further reward other than thanking you and upping your status, as he just did, for any of this stuff, because the way he's speaking, it's expected of your legionnaires. Of course, you turn this information in. But he is pleased with you, and after his conversation, unless you have any questions for him, he's just going to go about, assessing the situation. So, are there any questions for the legate?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather not poke and with any of that, even though we are kind of in a positive mood right now. But let's keep it that way.
Sure. Okay. So you guys have, there's nothing more for you here. You have the items that you have, and that's fine. And you're moving on. So you go get back into the kite, and what are you going to do? You got to head back to Tier City, or you got to stop in and talk to the village chief again? You want to speak to Lido? What do you want to do?
Let's talk to
Can I interject here for a second? The DNA
Like,
testing, was there's any kind of way to identify these people that of the DNA we found?
Yeah, no, an interesting point, which I think I mentioned last week, but I'll reiterate it. Everybody was human. They
Well,
weren't
we know
they weren't
that,
dealing
but
with mutants at all.
from that Pacific village, because we were looking for those people.
You wouldn't know that. You don't have a database to compare it
There's
against.
no database of.
There's no
Okay,
way.
all
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
well,
okay,
Yeah, these are homesteaders. It's quite random, right?
okay.
uh, we should probably talk to Lottie because that's who we were sent down to help in the first place, and have
Okay.
her talk to the chief because we still
I,
have to go deal with Birkeland or yeah.
You still have to deal with that. You have to go to back and talk to Harper. You guys got some cleanup today, and that's what we're doing. So we want to
yeah.
stop in and say hello and talk to Lottie. Do you guys
Well,
want to? Yeah, go ahead.
one
Mhm.
thing is I was going to go up to the wreckage of the patrol station,
Hmm.
look for some thing that I could retrofit as support beams to repair the house and walls I destroyed, and then take them out and load them on the kite.
Well, there,
Um,
the housing in there is like half grown and half organic
I know,
construction. So I don't know that
I
they
know,
would
I know.
appreciate metal pieces.
Uh, the okay,
They're
well, fuck
hippies,
them
dude.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
like we go to Lottie, we just let her know, that it's not going to be an issue anymore. It's been taken care of, and to let the the town know, or let the village know, and then let's head back. You know.
Okay. So you do that. You talk to Lottie. You give her the what's up. She thanks you. You guys take the kite. You head back, and this is kind of a loner you were given here for this mission. So you take it back to Port Stanton, and turn the keys back over to Harper. And now do you guys want to? Because you do have to deal with Birkeland. That is something that needs to be wrapped up today for sure. But do you want to do the Harper thing now and get it done with?
I mean, we're starting at we're coming back to the near the port anyways, right?
Well, you have to. You have to
So,
because this was a
yeah,
loaner, so you're
yeah,
giving the
'cause-
keys back to Harper anyway. I mean, we might as well, and then
yeah.
we'll get it started, and then we'll spend the rest of our time wrapping up and doing what needs to be done today. Today's kind of a wrap up day, and that's fine.
Mhm.
So you go back and you guys give the keys back to Harper, and she's already knows. Lottie gave her a call, and she's very very emphatic and happy that you were able to help, and you know I'm assuming you didn't give too many details to Lottie. You just kind of said it
Um,
was dealt with, right? Harper
yeah.
is very curious of what the problem was, though.
Oh,
It's
you mean?
it was more than we can
Remember,
go
boys,
into.
she's not a mutant. She's human completely.
Yeah,
Okay.
Harper. It was horrible. It was ghastly. There was death everywhere. Bodies piled high in multiple places. But we went in. We solved the problem, and Lottie and her people are safe. That's all we can tell you.
She does try to press a little bit more for information. As a matter of fact, GOP, you feel she's more curious than she should be. actually. But because you are an interrogator, but nevertheless, she moves past it and she says, "Okay, well, we had a deal, so 50% off any ship. I know you guys are eager, she takes you down and you go back to down to the area where they had all those ships, and let's take a look what we got. So once again, to reiterate, we have the Bragda. For this thing needs a lot of work, but it's pretty big. You guys can live in that, no problem, right? It's a really big ship. If you look at those front windows, for instance, the upper one is more of an observation deck. The lower one is you can put all of you can have a seat in the front there. So there's living space and cargo space. It's a pretty big deal. But this needs a lot of work. But you do have a mechanic. The Valiant is smaller. But you can live in it to a point. But boy, is this thing fast, and this excites Tower for sure. You can't afford this thing, but damn. And then of course you have the little Medi, which probably isn't even on in your thinking. It wouldn't it would if you were going to stay on planet, this would probably be something you would use. But seeing as you want to go interstellar, I would assume it would be either this one or this one. So, what are you guys thinking? A bigger ship that needs more work, or a smaller ship that needs some work but is faster? Remember, keep in mind the Valiant is a 1.5 ship. She's fast, where the Bragda is a standard one light year per hour ship. And keep in mind that's the speeds we're dealing with. And Now there are ships that are slower, especially the old big old cargo ships and stuff like that. But the Bragda is pretty standard speed. It's very standard. So what are you guys thinking?
Well, I'd like to see how much work we'd have and credits we'd have to spend to fix up the Bragda. What would that entail?
Well, it would cost you 50 grand to buy it because we do have 50% off. And It would probably cost you 40 to 50. Well, I'd have you make a mechanic roll, but it's probably going to be an additional 40 to 50 to fix it, right? This right here would cost you 75, and it probably cost you 20 grand to fix it. So they're about the same price.
They are about the same price. They both tax our reward money, which is fine. It's a goal achieved.
It is a goal achieved, and it really comes down to what you're thinking of doing. This thing right here is smaller. You guys, there's places where you can lay down and have a sleep. There's certainly a little mess where you can do a little teeny cooking area. And there's a small amount of cargo. There's not a lot of cargo on this. This right here is like what did I say before? But just looking at it, it's probably 4 ton maybe. Right, it's not a lot. Where this thing over here is probably 20-ton cargo space, big, huge, giant area in the back, like the Firefly. In a way, it's kind of like that size. So this is much more. You can do a lot more cargo. It is fairly fast. I mean, it is normal speed, even though it's gigantic. And The weaponry is pretty equal on it. What it is, there are no Imperial weapons on it, of course. They're just kind of standard civilian or commercial type of weaponry, but the weaponry is similar. The difference really is size. This is way smaller than this, but this sucker is fast. Really
I
fast.
mean,
What if I were to customize like the engine and the output on the Bragda? What could I get it up to? I mean, just by knowing its physical structure, what it can withstand.
Are you specialized in engineering and mechanics? Both?
Yes, I am.
I would say
I
that
did
you can
use.
increase by 20%.
Okay, so I get like 1.2,
1.2 light years per hour, and you could bring the Valiant up to 1.7,
which is nuts.
which is nuts.
Is it necessary?
Probably not. It depends. If you guys really want to go pirate hunting, get the Valiant. because this sucker you can if you especially if you can get you with some of your licenses and stuff you guys can get, you can weapon the hell out of this thing, and this thing will be an absolute terror. But if you're looking at
That's
maybe
appealing.
doing a mix of things, I would go with the Brogda.
Valiant.
Of course, you want the Valiant, but I mean, you have to be
Mhm.
practical in your thinking. If you really are just going to be pirate hunters, the
We
Valiant's the way
well
to go. If you want to do multiple things, the Brogda is the way to go. It's that simple.
here's my thought process building GOP before I say anything. The reason I say Valiant is because it's faster, it's smaller, it's nimble. Yes. But the reason I say that mainly, we already have a base that we can operate out of. So we don't have to look at the Bragda as like we could save up, we could do a lot of shit with the Valiant,
Mhm.
save up money, and then maybe down the line get something even better. So instead of like the Bragda, we could get something that's as fast as the Valiant, but with the storage capacity like a cruiser or frigate. But the Valiant, I think, would be better for what we're using it for because all we need to do is be able to get to and from our base fast, and
Well,
we don't really need a shit ton of storage
let
right
me
now.
give you information on that then. Let me help you out. Around transages in normal space within the Sagittarian arm, the normal space, there are planets that are nearby ish. You guys are kind of on the frontier, and but you're still looking, you know, from hours to days to travel amongst them. Going through the juncture into the other arm where a lot of activities going on. There's a lot of pirating, there's a lot of artifact hunting, there's a lot of bounty hunting, there's a lot of work on the other side of that juncture, and would probably be the most appealing to you monetarily because the other planets that are near here are just planets. Some of them are countryside type of things, but there's not much going on this side of the juncture. On the other side of the juncture, there's a lot going on. However, that's a 10-day, the normal one LY engine, which is what the Bragg is sitting at right now. That's a 10-day journey each way through the juncture. 10 days. So there's no quick traveling. If you guys there are actually four kind of way stations within the juncture itself. So there, if you took the Valiant, you could stop and kind of refresh yourself as heading through there. But once you're on
That's
the
what
other
I was going
side,
to ask.
yeah,
What
once
is
you're
the storage of food? They
well,
normally have how
it's
many days you can store
you
food in
have
there.
4 tons of storage, so you could definitely keep enough food on board. But if you're looking at what he's thinking and just go into the juncture, and you're constantly having to stop at little hotels, type of things, and stay. And once again, keep in mind that's pure frontier on the other side, right? But you find little places to kind of camp, land your ship and camp, and you go after pirates and bounties and stuff like that, make them enough money to get a better ship. Maybe that's a way to go. But if you're planning on going beyond the juncture and not doing something on this side of space in the Sagittarian arm, then you have to keep that in mind because even with the Valiant, you're still looking at 9-day both way. Well, no, you're not. You're looking at less. You're looking at 1.7, so you're looking at like 6 days each way. So it is fast, dude.
All right, so we we know what Tower wants. He's
Sure.
voting Valiant. Lady, what's your say? What do you want to do? Which one?
Well, if the volume has room enough for us to actually sleep,
Barely. It's really not.
barely,
It's not.
really not.
Yeah.
But the other
They
one probably
can.
couldn't take on pirates, though, could it?
Oh, sure
It
it could.
could, but
Yeah.
it'd be difficult, more
You
difficult.
would have to upgrade it. Yeah.
See,
For
but we're
planning to do
military. We
anyway.
can we can take turns sleeping.
And we can save up a little bit more money and put, you know, more military grade weaponry on it. Since considering our position, we'd be able to do that. You
Hmm.
know,
The Brogda would be able to hold multiple crafts and people and cargo,
Yeah,
and
especially if we're bringing prisoners.
Yeah.
and
well,
or even if we need land vehicles, if we need additional,
Or to have
like
a medical bay.
yeah, I think the Brogda for that reason alone has
Yeah,
There's
I
more
mean,
independence.
now you guys probably don't know this reference, but if you look at this, if you look just look at the picture, and you have there's a couple guys here for reference, right? This is
Yeah,
kind of like a speed yacht. So yeah, there are places you can bunk. There's a little place where you can cook, but this is there is some space inside where but it's just you're gonna get cabin fever like mad, right? Spending long time in this, but there you can survive on it. Where this thing right here, it is gigantic. I mean, look at this people here, right? I mean, it's freaking gigantic, right? You have all kinds of living spaces. You got 10-ton cargo in this. It's probably more like 20 ton, to be honest with you, in the back.
yeah.
20
You said
cargo.
20.
And this is a full-on living. You have everybody would have their own room. Everybody, you would have your own mess area. There'd be like den areas. You got this observation deck up top. So it's just it's a value of life choice as well. Because you're the time you're dealing with. I know 1 light year an hour sounds fast, but the distances you're dealing with, it's not.
Plus, we can take. I mean, we can take people traveling. We can bring them with us and have them pay us for the
Uh,
trip.
True.
here's a real question. Can you fly? Can I fly both of them
Oh yeah,
like in orbit?
no problem. Yes.
I would. I'm not. I was just asking. Like, it wouldn't be bad to drive the Bragda in orbit in the fucking town because of how big it is.
Oh no, no, no. Port Stanton can handle it, no problem. You're literally in one of the back rooms of Port Stanton right now. No
But
problem.
that is a good point about not about this particular
Does
city.
everywhere we go, is it going to be able to dock that big of a ship on planet?
In space, yes. On planet, you
Well,
just would have to find a space to land. And fair enough, the Valiant would be much more convenient in that regard. Of course, it's smaller. I mean, look at it. It's what, a third of the size? Not even.
I,
It's less than a third.
Can we
I'm
fit a
just saying.
Can we fit a Valiant inside a Bragda?
Probably not, but we
No, no.
might be able to
Can you?
fit a
What about
kite.
the last? What
You
about the
could definitely
last
fit
one?
a kite inside. There is actually a shuttle bay that is empty,
Right.
unfortunately. There
Yeah, that's
is
what I was.
You could fit a kite in here, no problem. Also, another thing you could probably just squeeze in. You'd have to make some adjustments, but you could fit a Lancer in there, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the Bragda. It's the versatility, man.
okay.
Speed is great, but that's its only trick. Is
It's
Hey,
the
true. The
Valiant's its
Valiant's
only
badass
trick.
though, and if you weapon the hell out of this, you would terrorize pirates, dude.
if
Dude,
Because this is a bit of
that
a
that
gem in the rough. It
that's
is a hidden kind of collector item. It
yeah.
is the original
See, Bill,
prototype.
it is.
God, Chester, you're like on both shoulders
See,
talking to me. You gotta
I
get the
know.
Bragda. No, get the Valiant.
Bill. Here, let me justify it like this, right?
Yes, David, we
Yes,
do need a lifeboat.
yes. If we got the Bragda, we would have the shuttle bay and a little bit more living space. But realistically, for the kind of missions we've been doing recently, and that we don't necessarily need to be living in the ship. We have a base in the city with our own port where we could land this thing,
Either one of them,
unload.
you have space for either one.
Exactly. We could unload. We have a ship. It's faster. We can weaponize it. So we, like he said, we can terrorize pirates. It's fast as fuck. It's a collector's item. It's like a Stingray. Would you like the Winnebago or would you like the Corvette Stingray? Yeah, the Winnebago is more. It's got some more tricks up its sleeves, but come on, man, Stingrays.
Fuel
power.
efficiency, which is better.
Here's my kind of crazy idea. Eventually, okay, if we get the Bragda, and then we keep doing jobs, and we make enough money to have the Valiant too. So picture this: we're
How
getting
much money
chased
do
out.
we have?
We don't have enough for both right now. But what I'm saying is, if we saved up, like if we kept doing missions and kept saving up, if we had the Bragda, and then we had the Valiant in the bay, right? Then, let's say we're attacked by pirates. Well, they think, oh, it's just one ship, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, the Valiant comes flying out, and now they're up against two ships that are both armed.
Well,
know what
you
I'm
wouldn't be able
saying?
to fit the Valiant in the Bragda.
Valiant won't
Too big.
fit, but the
Okay.
Too big.
Lancer would.
The
Well,
Lancer
the
would.
But
Matter of fact, let me help you end the conversation here,
okay.
because Harper is sitting there listening to you, and she says, for me, if I put a little bit of work into the Valiant, I can charge 5 times as much for that. So if you take the Brogda, I'll throw the kite in for free.
The Valiant's worth 5 times my
Did that help?
yeah,
And the
5 times.
kite will fit into the shuttle bay perfectly. No problem. No adjustment needed.
Hey. Here's my thing though, Bill. 5 times the value. You could put $20,000 in it. We're getting it half off, so we're still saving money. And 5 times, and that ship's worth $150,000.
And we get the one really awesome.
We could put $20,000 in it and get almost $1 million for it. $750,000.
Are we voting?
Yeah.
Okay,
vote.
yeah, I think that's a good point.
yeah,
Dude, I'm just saying, it's
Harper!
5 times to the
yeah.
Valiant.
And then
Like the
I can
kites,
work on it,
what the
and then
what's
then
$50,000? We can use the Valiant, and when we save
Yeah,
up enough money, we
Howard,
could
All right, we're
trade
good.
it
got
in
your vote,
for
Howard.
that
We
money.
agree.
Got your vote.
We
Valiant.
agree.
So
All right.
what do you want, Bill? Valiant or Brogda?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah.
Brogda with kite or Valiant?
I think the Brogda with kite fits our mission better. But man, I thought fucking if I can make $1 million off the whatchamacallit, the Valiant, and then turn around and buy a the Harper's not going to be too happy with me after that.
No,
So
that's true.
we're not going to be able to work with her anymore. Let's just get this done, as I want to move on. Brogda and kite, let's go.
All right.
Brogda and kite.
Okay. I guess
Oh,
you're
man.
deciding vote, GOP.
Please.
And well, because I was thinking Valiant just because we make so much money, and I mean, I'm good enough to smooth anything over. I could, even if we sold it for way more, I could still keep us good with Harper. I think, but it'll be 2-2 at that point. Then we just flip a coin.
We can get our use.
I'll make a decision,
Hear
I
me
guess.
out.
Yeah,
Fine,
Get our
let's do
use
it.
out of it.
Let's do it. Let's.
Well, I'm
I'll
waiting
build
on
it. I'll
GOP's
rebuild it.
decision here.
I know. Valiant. We'll let
Okay.
the coin flip for Chester.
So you guys are split on it, and Harper's sitting there thinking about it, and she asks one question to you. She looks at you specifically, Bill. What is it your guys are trying to do with with these ships?
Let's go fast.
Well, we are.
I'm putting my hand over his mouth. Not Bill's, but
Valiant.
Tower.
We need versatility for a lot of different kinds of missions.
Then take the Brogda.
I know, but yeah.
Fine, let's take the Brogda. Let's stop arguing.
With the kite, and what's the other little guy that you had?
What
The
little
Vespa?
guy?
Wasn't there a fourth one?
There was
Like
one that
Vespa?
was no, it
The
was
Prius? What was it?
There's a Medi,
It wa-
but you guys don't need
a
that.
Medi.
That's
Yeah, we
that's
don't
not
need
even
that.
space worthy. It's atmospheric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I put this in
Well-
here in case you guys decided to stay on planet side. This would be a nice little get about for you, is what I put it here. This one and the kite is space worthy, and it does have a FL how would I say that? L
FLMA.
well, whatever. The light speed is standard. So
yeah.
Oh, VTOL.
yeah. VTOL
Vertical
is
takeoff
of
and landing.
1. So I put them in here to kind of this one here to go back and forth. I put this one here for if you stayed on planet. I put this one here to frustrate Tower, and then
Not that,
I
dude.
put these here for a choice. No, this Lancer's wicked. This thing is wicked.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
cool, but it's like,
dude, that thing. Oh man,
It's
we
as
could
fast as
kill
a Valiant, but it's way more maneuverable. Its weapon systems are insane. You would have to get a special license, but you probably could. with a little bit of effort. This
Will
area
it
right here
fit
is.
all of us?
Oh yeah, it will fit everybody, but it's smaller than this, right?
Yeah.
But so it's not much of a life quality thing. You could have made the Valiant work as far as life quality, but this is really the better choice. It really is.
Okay,
It
we're
just
taking.
I know it is.
We fixed the
I just
Valiant, sold the
we just
Valiant, bought the Bragda, and had money left over to buy the Lancer.
I understand, but we're going with the Brogdon now, so let's just do it.
because there
I'm
are
not.
social and political issues as well. That's true. Anyway, okay. So you guys buy the Bragda and you get the kite with it. I will squeeze them in. Now, what we're going to do here is there's two things we need to get done today. Basically, we have to deal with Birkeland, and you guys will have to discuss on how you want to do with that. But I'm going to drop. Well, first of all, Bill, give me a. Give me first. Give me an engineering roll of difficulty TR3, please.
not 20.
Really?
Holy.
Woo! Yeah, first one of the game.
Oh, oh, Jesus. All right. So, oh, okay. So you have plans. You have good plans. All right. And depending on the next roll, depending on how oh, that's interesting. I'll take that into account. And then give me a mechanic roll of TR5, please.
Okay. Okay.
I
Mechanic
would.
roll TR5, so I use it by one with
Easily. Are you
okay, but I
specialized in
did
mechanics?
I am specialized, so
So
I
that
use it
leaves
by
us by
2.
2, right? So we're down to 3.
Okay. So TR3.
He is an effort
I
or
would,
experience.
just burn all the effort you got because this is a
Yeah.
long-term roll. I would just burn it.
Oh yeah, sure. I got 11 in my pool, so I
Yeah.
still need
Um.
what 9 points. So 3,
Yeah. Okay.
and with an edge of 1. So
This is
okay.
what happens. She's going to she moves the ship or has the ship moved over to your new base because you guys do have a base now. And this thing does fit in there. It does fit. So it moves over to the garage. It just fits, but it does fit. Keep in mind, you guys do have a new base of operations, and the little egg thing in here isn't here. This is the picture I chose because I thought it was cool. But it does fit in here. Matter of fact, because it moves forward, there's actually more room in front of this. There's enough room for the Bragda itself. And by the way, all of the licensing and titling, it's clean ship, but all of it's been wiped out. So it doesn't even have a name. So you guys will have to make a decision on that and go register it.
The SS
Uh,
does need money.
that's fine. But there's also room up front for the kite to have its own little docking bay area for working on and stuff. But you have brought this garage to its absolute maximum limit. She does move it over though for you, and 3 months are going to pass. 3 months. While Bill is working on this. When you're all said and done, though, Bill, she is going to have herself a speed of 1.2. And you were able to improve her armor by 20% as well with that D20 roll, that 20 roll. I have to go and look at the rules for vehicles and stuff, but I'm going to increase whatever it is by 20%. So write that down so I don't forget, please, Bill.
20% to
We have
armor.
You
fully
were able
recovered.
to improve her infrastructure.
Okay. And then a 1.2 is the speed.
It's
Okay.
speed that you're able to boost on her,
Okay, got it.
which is pretty good. It's faster than the average for sure. It's not going to be able to deal with a light fighter or things like that as far as speed goes. But weaponry and stuff, it does have standard weapon on there, but you guys will have to look into licensing and stuff. We'll do that after the fact. So Bill is going to be busy for the next 3 months, and he's successful at that 3 months. He's very successful. As a matter of fact, he's probably chuffed with himself. Just for because Rabbit's not here, I figure to throw a Britishism in there. But during that 3 months, you guys have to deal with Birkeland. and then anything else you want with your characters. Now, keep in mind, your characters can develop many things. If you guys have any kind of crafting you want to do with your character, is there any kind of things you want to do with building up a group of contacts, or if you guys want to gather information, there's all kind of character life building things you can do in this game. It's not restricted just to combat, right? So anyway, so Bill, unfortunately, your head's down, so you don't really have an opinion in this conversation. I apologize.
No, that's fine. But I'm going to ask Mars to do me a solid and sell my van, and I paid 16 for it. So see what you can do to get me a little cushion for my troubles.
Okay.
Can you put a nice steering wheel on the ship for me, Bill?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want it to be blue.
Obviously.
And you find out where the egg went, by the way, because the egg is missing, right? I told you it's not there. Billy's not seen either. Billy's gone.
Billy's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy got moved. Right.
Billy got moves, and he took his egg with him.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Do I have to spend money on the other 20, right, to have
Yes.
all everything I need to fix it
you
up?
need to spend no, it's not 20, it's 50 for this ship, right?
No, you said to put into it. What did you? How much did you
50.
say? I apologize.
50 for the
20.
frac deck. Yeah, so it costs you 100,000.
Repairs.
Yeah, all
I told-
together.
yeah, okay.
So you said between 40 and 50 to do the repairs.
And he did
And
roll
I rolled
high.
a
You're
20.
right there. You're right. He rolled high, so make it 40. So you actually made 10 grand out of that mission. So your 10 added on to
Okay.
what you had. That's a good point, lady. All right, so you're going to try to sell his van for him, GOP.
Okay.
But other than that, Bill's done. Bill's, he's busy, and good on him for that. So let's go to Lady first. So Lady, other than the little Berkland mission, which you'll all do that together, which we'll do that last today.
Okay.
You have 3 months down as he's working on getting this ship up and running, and who knows, maybe even you throw in and help him. You are the only other mechanically inclined person here
Yeah.
on occasion. But is there anything you want to develop with your character during that time?
I want to develop maybe some of these lost arts of psychic abilities.
Okay, so you're going to be working on your psychic stuff. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And help him along to do some research if there's such a library or knowing other telepaths around. Look
Okay.
around, talk to some people.
Okay, I will
See
do
if there's
something
any-
with that here in a second. So
Okay.
basically, you're working on developing your psychic abilities, working on improving yourself in that regard. I will find a conversation for you to have here momentarily. And you're also giving a hand to Bill from time to time as he needs it.
Yes.
So rock on. All right,
Yes.
cool. Tower, 3 months. What do you want to do with your character?
I want to go buy a hat. That's for sure.
Okay. You do that.
Anything
Yes.
else there, buddy?
If I bought boxing gloves, could that increase my melee damage without
It
negating
would
my electric
reduce
fist?
your melee damage, seeing as that's the purpose of them.
I didn't know if having wrist wraps would actually increase it at all.
No, it actually would. Those are the wrapping is to protect yourself.
Oh,
Yeah,
I am a weapon of war.
It's to try to keep your bones and every tendons tight so you don't break your bones as easy. That's why they do that.
Okay,
I used to box.
in that case, okay. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna hit the gym and keep swole and drink a healthy amount of beer for the next 3 months.
So you're going to carouse for 3 months and buy a hat.
Yes, and buy a very nice. It's an Aussie hat.
And they are awesome. They are awesome. You're right.
Sure are.
Cool. All right, GOP.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take that van and I'm gonna fill it up with all the stuff that we didn't go over. What did we get from that base? What weapons? How many?
Oh yeah,
Because I'm gonna
no,
go.
I'll just do a lump sum when you go to try to sell it. You want to go over and talk to Bigley?
Yeah, that's my plan. Bill, what are you telling me I should?
And by the way, you guys do have a full workshop here. There is this isn't the only one. There are actually several kind of sleeping bays in this place and the garage. Just so you know the layout of your new place. There's a really nice workshop next to the garage. The garage itself is pretty big with plenty of it's old, but Bill can make do. And you have living space and you have like a kitchenette area as well. So it's enough for you. But we got to go talk to the little dude.
Yeah, no, we will. Hey, Bill. Just letting you know. That's probably not the best idea. But anyways,
What?
no, nothing. Just something. Something else. Never mind.
Okay. So you come over and you speak to Big Bill D. Matter of fact, speaking to Harper about selling the van is probably not the best idea because it's not something she really deals with. She deals with
Yeah,
spaceships mainly. Bill D, on the other hand, mainly a
No,
weapons dealer, but you could probably sell that to him here.
I would either think the maze
what
or
about Zane? He literally owns a mechanic shop.
You could go try to talk to
yeah,
Zane
but
about that too. Yeah.
or yeah,
To
probably
be
make more
honest with
sense.
you, it comes down to a mix of your role and reputation. So selling the van to the garage, Zane, is probably going to be easier to make a little bit to make some money on it than it would be with Buildy, to be fair. But the weapons definitely
That's
got to go
true.
here to Buildy.
Yeah. So and I make sure that because I'm sure the one guy had a rifle on his back, right? So was it
Yeah, you
a
picked up a
sniper
bunch of
rifle?
stuff. I'm just going to give you a lump sum. We don't need to have an accurate number.
Okay. Oh, and also the gloves. Can we give those to Tower? Because
So you did you stripped Rustov.
we took their gear from them. We weren't going to let them keep their gloves on them while they're prisoner.
Okay.
That was
Sure. Those gloves add an additional 2 points of electrical damage.
Nice.
okay. Oh, nice. All right. So yeah. And then I took the guys. I'm guessing there was a energy weapon. The rifle. So I can.
You don't have license for that though.
Oh, I don't. I thought I
No.
had license for all the weapon stuff.
Mm-mm. Those are Faustian. That's highly illegal.
Oh, okay. Well then, I'm guessing I can still sell it to Billy.
Yeah, Bildy has license to deal with that stuff, and mainly he's going to be let me made huge air quotes buying it back for disposal. Air quotes.
Okay.
Lots of
All
air
right.
quotes.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So, but everyone, I make sure that everyone at least gets one of those pistols. The night. Well, oh no, they can't have that. That's right, because it's Faustian. Never mind. Okay. So the only thing we got out of that was
And
the
all the
gloves.
ciphers I gave you. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
ciphers, but no
So,
like extra weapon.
basically, Bill, you're the one to take that, obviously. Or actually, you could give it to Blue. But those gauntlets, those would be listed on your sheet as an artifact, by the way.
Oh,
Okay. And therefore, GOP, roll me a d6, please.
okie dokie. That's my 6. 3.
3. All right. So I'll just give it the +1 as most of the things in the chart have. So make it a 4. Therefore, everyone earns 1 experience points from that.
Sweet.
Make sure you guys write that down. Anytime you get an artifact, whatever the level of the artifact is split amongst the party in XP. It's just the way it works. So mark that down as an artifact, though, Bill. All right, so you're over here talking to Buildy, and you're showing him what you got and stuff. And he looks at you a little bit sideways, but you're being a clever fellow. You show him your III identification, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's straight, and he says, "Yeah, well, we do have a buyback on such things." So. Alrighty, and he and his guys kind of jump in and start going through it. And as you're doing, he's kind of inquiring where you happen to find all these Faustian equipment.
Well, our work brings us all over the place, and let's just let's just say it's a more classified matter, and
Mm, mm.
you understand.
Oh, he does, and he takes your IIA identification and puts it on the form. And as he goes through it here, and he's going to give you a price, you want to try to
Yes,
use
I'm
your
gonna haggle.
abilities and make a negotiation. So go ahead.
Okay.
This would be against Bildy. Bildy's an absolute professional in this regard, so we will say that he is a TR4.
Oh, I instantly, yeah, dude. I persuasion.
Well, you are very
Yeah.
specialized in it, so
Yes. Yes. Not even a chance.
okay. I'm going to give, but make the roll anyway.
Okay. I rolled a 16.
Okay, because if you get like a 20, like Bill did, I'll add
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
little generosity on it. But he goes through. It's quite a. You were able to pick up a whole bunch of guns and pistols and some like flak, Faustian type of flak jackets and all kind of stuff. You guys were able to collect, and the IA didn't care anything about that. All they cared about it was the lab, so there was no pushback. Do keep in mind, I hope someone here wrote down the information you guys find about that special unit that was fighting against the Grindon. You guys had like you found like an insignia and stuff. I hope you wrote that down.
The uh, the assassin. Well, like it was like the
It's like an
Assassin's League.
assassin
We didn't.
squad. Yeah, and I hopefully
Yeah.
one of you wrote that down. That is a useful piece of information potentially. Anyway, after it's all said and done, there's a lot of stuff here. Of course, it's there's restrictions on pricing because it's technically illegal equipment. Yada yada yada. 20,000.
20,000. All right. So, yeah, Bill, if you just want to add that to our total. I do want to, since I'm here anyways. I want to buy like a few, grenades. And how much would a Legion sniper be?
A rifle. Now, you guys do have legionary licenses now, as far as that
Hmm.
goes. Any kind of restricted stuff within the Legion, you don't have access to, but normal stuff you can. And we already said that all Legion weapons do an additional two. Was it 2 points of damage? Was that what I said, or four?
Yeah, additional two is
It's
what you
two, yeah,
said.
additional two on top of whatever it does, which is nice. How much would that cost? It would cost you 2,200 for you today only.
Yeah, I'll take it out of there and I'll convince Bill that it's necessary later.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so 2,200, and that's does that include the four grenades or no?
Yeah, no, I threw it all in together. The 200s for the grenades, 50 each.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, that's what I get today.
Okay.
Um, all
So
right.
now you have a vehicle to deal with.
Note about our assassins, we do have DNA stuff of
Yeah,
them
I
too.
know. I just hope that
Oh
you
yeah.
guys wrote that down because that's
Okay.
actually a
Mhm.
campaign information.
Yeah.
What do you want to do about the vehicle? You want to try to sell it here? You want to go over talk to Zane? What do you want to do?
No, I'll take it to Zane.
Okay, it's probably
That'd
the
be
smarter
smarter.
thing. Well, actually, you
Yeah.
don't even really talk to Zane. You talk to Sam's, right?
Hmm.
Because he's in charge of the shop really, right? And Billy's gone, so Sam's is your kind of contact point. You guys have talked to Sam's before on a few occasions, but he's usually busy because he's actually, the head mechanic, whereas Billy was kind of a sympathy thing, right? But
Hmm.
anyway, you talk to Sam's and you show him the vehicle, and he kind of looks at it. And is like, yeah, this old rat thing you guys been riding around. He said, I guess you upgraded, huh?
Oh yeah, and but I mean, just check under the hood because I'm sure Bill had probably put a lot of work, and it's probably pretty nice under there.
He
So
does, and
I'm
he's like,
like,
"Oh, it's got a this and that," and he does recognize a little bit of upgrading that Bill has done, and he knows Bill's a pretty solid mechanic. Go ahead and make your negotiation. This guy's like a I don't know TR3, so I guess you don't have to roll at all, but roll anyway.
yeah, I rolled a 4, and but either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay, he gives you 18 for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just because because
Hmm.
you're buds.
So yeah, so what? That's 25/8, I think, if my math is correct. Oh no, that's way more. It'd be way more.
Yeah, I gave
My
you
math is way up.
20 and then 18, and you
Yeah, yeah,
took out
20,
2200.
18.
So
Yeah, okay. Well, fair enough.
that would be 35.8. Just so you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm here to do
I
your
don't know
math.
why I was only thinking. I know. I don't know why. Just lately, I've just been horrible with remembering. Like, because the first thing I don't know why I was thinking it was way less than it was. Okay. Anyways, you got that, Bill?
Yeah, we're at 86.8
All
as
right,
a group,
cool.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
I, I'm gonna take this.
and a garage, 2 spaceships, and a hat, Aussie hat.
Yeah, and Aussie hat. Yeah. All right, so we got that done. Other than Birkeland, what is it you want to do with your character during the 3 months? Because that right there was an afternoon of work you just did. So
Oh shoot, there is one more thing I wanted to do, and I'll ask Bill if it's okay to spend a little bit more of the money. I want to get that companion license.
companion, what is
Right?
that? What was that again?
We discussed
Orson
He wants to be a male prostitute.
like a high
escort.
because you said it's like 10,000 to get that license. It's expensive.
Oh, for the companion, the sex worker, or the escort. Yeah,
Yeah, essentially,
yeah.
that could
We
get
got
us a lot of.
ourselves a gigolo.
Mm-hmm. I'm just a gigolo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, for the connections and possible fun that would happen, sure, why not?
Okay, so that
We're
is 10
just
grand.
gonna hoard. We're just gonna hoard GOP out.
Well, no,
Oh
he's
yes,
whoring himself out. So, all right. So,
yes.
once again, a lot of things in the Imperium are either ridiculously strict or not strict at all. And this is falls into the not strict at all. If you got the money, you can buy it. A lot of licensing is done that way, other than weapons and stuff. But you guys are already on to the Legionnaire standard Legionnaire licensing on that anyway. So it's just a matter of paying for it, and you go and you pay. It is a huge sum, but you have a license to do that. Now, you take a little bit of time looking into, I'm assuming, how best to go about it. Now, you know that you could pull a lot more clients, although it's a lot more work per day, working mutants and going down. Particularly, you probably have to go down and have a conversation. You are licensed though, so it makes the conversation much easier. But if you went down to red light, and you'd probably end up having to talk to Nightingale, because technically she kind of runs the place, and you could make solid money with it. And I just have to think about what you could make, and we'll do the math. But another way you can go that 99.9% of all mutants can't go is inside Tier's restricted zone itself,
That's the point.
because you are very human looking, of course. But you're still a mutant, so you could probably be inside the compound here, which This is what this picture shows. This is the restricted zone. On the other side of this wall we see here on the south of this picture is when it comes into Muni City. But
Be right back.
if you can get access to Tier City, which I'm sure you could talk yourself into doing, you would work less and make more money in here because of the rich ladies who, ooh, I slept with a mutant. But they're not really
Plus,
interested in sleeping with ugly mutants, but you're pretty.
I'm gorgeous.
So these
Let's
are the
let's not
options you
undersell it
have.
here.
These are the
Yeah,
options.
no, I'd rather go live the high life for the next few months, sleeping with rich old widows.
Yes, that's what you're doing. Yeah. All right.
No,
So,
Mhm.
goodness
no,
gracious.
no.
All right. Let me deal with this, Howard. Let me deal with it. All right. So, the first thing you need to do is to get yourself a pass into the restricted zone. So, how do you want to go about doing that?
Well, the last time I did it,
Hmm.
I found because you'll still have plenty of people going to like even like wealthier humans coming from the city
Hmm.
going to like the red light district for whatever reason, say like the arena because people still
Sure.
want some
They do
entertainment,
that.
and that's a
They
great
do
place
that.
for it.
And you are already in
So
here. You're the only one who's ever been in here, by the way.
so I'm gonna take my old route and basically go to the arena and shop around for some attractive older human ladies who look wealthy, and I'm going to lay on my charm,
Okay.
as it
So
were.
you want to go you don't want to do the one night escort, you want to do the gigolo thing initially.
Well, that'll at least get me in the door.
No, it
Like
would
that's
get you a pass. All
yeah.
right. So you're I get it, and with your ability, there's no dice roll going on here really. So you're kind of scanning you take a couple of days and you go down and you look at the arena, and one particular night, you're at the arenas. I'm assuming in red light because that's going to be a higher clientele. So instead of the ones kind of which Tower and the Bill were messing around with, but you go down to red light and you're checking out the arenas, and you see one night a whole bunch of rich humans come in, and they've dragged their women along, of course, for the night. And a couple of the ladies actually are quite into it. They're cheering quite ravenously. But the majority of the ladies are, just there because they're with their men, right? And you see one in particular, just she could not be bothered at all. She's bored to death. She clearly doesn't want to be here. She's 40-ish something, 50, maybe leaning toward 50. Not a bad looking lady. She's clearly very wealthy though. Her husband is absolutely 100% engorged, I shall use that word, in the events that are taking place, and she seems like a proper target to you. So
That's
she does get up and goes and hangs out in the bar a little bit, and just she'd rather drink than watch this vulgarity. And you follow her into the bar, and you strike up a conversation. Of course, you're quite good at that. And during the conversation, you see that she's bored with more than just that. So you were 100% right. Your eye is good, and yeah, like I said, your abilities are way beyond this lady's level. And that's one thing it's
mhm.
I think very interesting about this game. It does not there is no CR system. It does not stack as you get higher level. It doesn't. The world is the world. I like it actually. So you don't have to make a roll. You can if you want to get an extraordinary success, but I don't think it would make much difference. This lady's name is Pandy
Andy. All right.
Samuelson.
Samuelson?
hmm Now,
Okay.
her husband is as white as a Nordic can be. She's a bit more
Mhm.
swarthy, of the Latin persuasion, you would say.
All right.
And like I said, she's still not a bad looking lady. When she was young, she was probably ridiculously stunning. And even though there are a lot of new technologies, medicines, and things like that, it is still clear her husband is much older than her.
Mhm. All
So,
right. Yeah.
so you have her wrapped about your finger. What do you want to do?
Well, of course I'm going to seduce her
Well, obviously,
because
yeah,
why wouldn't I?
yes.
So yeah, we converse, and I lament about how, oh, woe is me that I can't go into the city to see someone as beautiful like you. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yada yada yada. It
That's how
just
you get the
basically,
ladies,
I'm
by the way, GOP, just so you know, in the future reference, yada, yada, yada. They love that.
lots of yada yada yada.
Uh-huh.
It's just, but yeah, I'm just going off. I'm like I'm just, and I'm kind of, I'm interested, but I'm not acting too interested, to where it's like just keep her on that edge that you know what I'm saying.
Right, and she
Uh
and she says that, well, I have my husband allowed me to have my own little side business. I actually sell fashion designs, and it's become fairly popular, and she's very proud of herself. And I could use an assistant.
my eyebrow perks up. Like, oh, really? Tell me more.
Well, she kind of goes into it as she rubs the hairs on your forearm from time to time, and basically she will hire you on as her assistant to help with her fashion designs, thus getting you a pass. But of course, it's not said directly, but things are expected.
I I give her the sly look, like I'm, like that's perfectly fine with me,
Yeah.
kind of
Now
thing.
your abilities are just too high to for her to even have a chance. But just to kind of
Mhm.
give you an idea, she's not stupid. She's not a dumb lady. She's fairly clever lady, but she's bored, and you're exactly what she's been looking for. So basically, you are able to get a pass to get into the restricted zone into your city, and you can pass back and forth easily, no problem. So now, with that in play, you're going to have to deal with her. And I mean, she'll probably give gifts or stuff, but there's not really a direct money payment, right? Other than, you'll have to get a salary for the job, though. So,
Mhm.
let's say that she's got to be generous. So let's say over the course of the 3 months, you earn 1,200 credits just from the job.
Okay.
All right. And she gives you a watch, which is quite quaint and antiquated, but it's a fashionable thing amongst humans to do. It doesn't serve much purpose other than being way more expensive than it should. It's called
All right.
the Roleplix.
All right.
Okay. She also gives you you have to be proper dressed. So she gets you not one but five very high end suits. Very high end. Each one of these suits is worth 6 grand each, and the shoes to go with them. That's not actual money in hand, but it's you should write it down that you have six
Mhm.
Armanis basically, or not even, but a Beyond Me Armani actually, for work, of course.
Okay.
Base
Oh, of
Armani.
course.
Hmm.
Yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
then that
Oh no,
also that
I'm not
helps.
done. I'm not done. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And but you found that this lady's a bit kinky, and
Uh-huh.
she has bought you a golden threaded and diamond studded cock. What is it called? A cock ring. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
She's
She's that.
very.
She's that way. She's a bit
Oh,
rough too. She's a bit rough. She scars occasionally, but you do what is
I
your safety word?
Roleplex.
Roleplex.
Oh,
All right, so you have to deal with her, and there's an actual there. She's like I said, she's not stupid. She actually does use you to do some work. You are a very good speaker, which
Hmm.
she recognizes. So there's a little bit of work you have to do as far as being involved with her in that regard. It's not much, but there's not. You did make money off of salary, but you haven't made any kind of escort money. And with your ability, it'll probably start in that place. It'll probably start around 1,000 per interaction. But with your abilities, you should be able to get that up to around three pretty quickly.
You want me to
Um,
roll for how many
well,
interactions I'm
that's what
able
I'm
to?
asking you. How do you want to play it?
Okay.
We have 3 months to
Uh,
deal with, so
True. Well, I mean, I can only be around her so much because her husband's
of
still her
course,
husband.
yeah,
But
it is limited.
so I mean, I'll spend the amount of time necessary with her. I will work
We'll say
the
two
necessary
days a
time.
week with her.
Yeah. And so the extra time that I have, I'm going to be doing my other work.
Like, are
Uh,
you really being very serious about it and trying to make as much money as possible?
um, yeah, I'm because I figured I only have so much time before we have the ship done and we
Right.
we get off. It'll go to
So
leave.
let's say that you're able, really putting your nose down and getting it done. Let's say you're able to get 50 interactions during that 3 month period, which is really working hard. And let's say that the first 20 are 1,000, the next 20 are at 2,000, and the last 10 are at 3,000. So the first 20 1,000, so that's 20,000. Right? So 20,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next one is going to be 40,000. So that's 60,000, and then we have. So you have made a total of $90,000 plus the 12,000. So it's 102,000 credits in 3 months. Damn boy.
Mm-hmm. That's good for me.
Yeah, and
Was it as good
nobody's
for
the
you as it was
wiser,
for me?
huh?
Yep.
So you guys
I
don't see
said, was
GOP very much over the past 3 months?
yeah. I've been very like they're kind of surprised. Every once in a while, I'm sure they call me, and I'm like, no, I'm good. You guys keep working on your stuff.
Yep. So he can buy
Zero
his own damn
just
ship.
wore himself out so much he could buy a kite.
I could
He
buy.
could buy fucking
Yeah.
2 kites. You're gonna buy 2 kites and
Now,
strap them together and ride them like the fucking sand racers.
now
Like a
here,
chariot.
yeah, but he is actually working hard. That's a lot of work. That's our organization, interacting, scheduling, and of course the that's the easy part. So it's actual work. It's not nothing. That's a lot of effort to get that done.
Oh yeah.
50 interactions in 3 months. That's a lot, I would think. I mean, a street horror probably does more, but that's not what we're doing here, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
so
more spending the night with them, and
Yes, you are.
like
You're
it's an
you're
escort.
you're dating, you're
You
going
know?
out, and yeah, it's a different environment. But I'm
Yeah, well,
surprised you went that way. Okay.
Well,
I didn't even. I thought of this as a leisure time. I'd say I could have done fucking commercial piloting.
Well, we know,
you
but
could have.
you didn't. You're
I
Wanted to
just
didn't
have.
carousing
fucking
and
think
lushing.
But
about
It's
it.
okay.
he's new to the he's all the things he could do.
I
That's
didn't
okay
even
though.
think about it. I
Well,
could
no,
have
But
just
now
been a
you
you're
commercial.
know.
relaxing. You're being your character. I don't think it's a problem.
Mhm.
Okay,
Alrighty. So that's done.
thank
So we
God.
have that all wrapped up. Tower's doing what he's doing. Bill is definitely engaged. Lady. So you are working on meditations and working on your abilities and stuff like that, and you want to find someone else who's a scion to try to learn from. Good idea. So how would you like to go about doing that, lady?
Oh, while meditating, well, no, there's just too many people to be like that, though.
No, there's not. So how you want to go about? But there must be. So how you want to go about finding them?
Well, first off, get send him ask a message asking him if I need permission to continue my study in the psionics
Who are
from
you
the
talking
from
to? Who are you talking to?
The
That
Liggett?
the legate.
Okay. You want to talk to the legate. Okay, that
Yeah,
was my question. Who you want to talk to?
yeah.
All right.
Or
So
send a message to him, not talk to him.
that's fine. That's fine. So you contact the legate and you let him know that you're pursuing to try to increase your training, because he's well aware of what you guys are doing. Matter of fact, he's probably well aware of what GOP is doing. But I doubt he cares. I mean,
Yeah, I know. It was so
he
funny.
wouldn't care about that kind of thing. Matter of fact, you honing those skills, he probably sees as valuable, right? Because it's not outside of the realm of necessity inside a spy agency. But the legate says, well, because of and he is delicate about this, but because of your mutant status and the fact that you are literally cousin it, um, most of the scions are actually human inside Tier City, and they wouldn't deal with you. He's just being honest with you. He's not being a dick at all. He's just being honest that they wouldn't deal with you at all. Matter of fact, you whether you knew it or not,
So they're like the mages too, then.
they are. They are. And
Yeah,
and you probably already knew that, but because he doesn't care you're mutant at all. But once again, legionnaires tend not to care about those things, right? Because you
yeah.
guys, when you fight in a hole together, who cares what color you are, right? as it were. But it does reiterate the fact that the Magi and the Scions, they see it that as a human purview, and mutants have no business being involved with it. Now, it's not so bad that they go out and hunt and kill you in some kind of inquisition. That's not what's happening at all. But they're certainly not going to aid you in any way. He says, however, he does know of a mutant on planet that might be of some use to you in that regard. He can't guarantee it, but he can set up a meet.
I would appreciate it.
Now, do you have any piloting skills at all?
No, I'm navigation, remember?
Right, but I would think you would at least know how to kind of just drive a vehicle. I
Yeah, I
think you
drive a
would. Yeah,
vehicle, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
A
So
speeder, air speeder thing.
yeah. So you could take the kite, and because it's the it's literally a minivan in this world, right? You could take the, you're not going to do any kind of combat maneuvers or anything like that, but just flying it from one place to another, anybody can do it, right?
Mm.
And I'm assuming Bill has no trouble with you taking the kite. Um, so you take the kite.
Bill, I'm a pilot.
Yeah, but this isn't involving you. This is her.
Yeah, I
You're
don't care.
drunk.
You are drunk actually. So you take the kite and you go out to where the Legate has set up an interview for you, and you go out to a city that is it's not an official legionnaire or an imperial city per se. It is one of the first homesteading cities that started on the planet long hundreds of years ago, and it was built in an ancient ruined city. Uh, so it's a very interesting and mysterious place. But like I said, it's not an official imperial city. And
Mm-hmm.
there is a rector who is in charge of the city, and his name is Rector Camus. And Rector Camus is like you; he's a mutant. And of course, the city that
So
he
rector means he's some kind of holy man.
no, not
No?
necessarily.
Okay.
He's a scion, therefore the mutants kind of see it more holy. They do take a more holy look at scion than maybe the humans do.
But see, I was going to bring a bottle of wine as a gift, but I don't know. It's a holy man? Hmm.
Well, it's just the mutants kind of looked at that way, but that's not technically what a rector is. I
Okay.
understand that's kind of a modern misunderstanding of the word. A rector
All right.
is in essence a mayor,
Okay.
right? Is what it is. And like I said, because this is not there isn't a tribune in charge of it because it's not an official Imperium city, right? That would have a tribune in charge, probably, maybe even a legate,
All right.
depending on how important it was. But nevertheless, you fly out to the city of Riswin.
Risk.
I have it right here on the screen for you,
RSWYNE. Okay.
Riswin, and you meet with Rector
Richter.
Camus.
Okay. He looks like the Red Skull, but okay.
Well,
Almost.
he's more reptilian or
More
saurian in
Richter.
nature, but he's a mutant like you. And like I said, a lot of the mutation, not all, but the vast majority of mutation is seemingly anthropomorphic in nature, right?
Yeah.
You go out, you meet with the rector. Now, this city is way southwest. It's way southwest. It takes you several hours flight to get out here in the kite, and it's really on beyond the curve as well. It's almost halfway to the other side of the planet. But nevertheless, you're in a pretty fast ship. So you get out here, and this city is, like I said, it's a ruin. It's like I said, there's a lot of here on Transaegis and even beyond the juncture. There's a lot of this whatever this ancient culture was. And this city is fairly intact, and they've repaired and built up since. When you get in and you land, you get clearance to land, you walk around. The city itself is way bigger than the population that's living here, though. Like I said, they didn't build it; they just occupied it, right?
Yeah.
And you get in, and you notice that there are there are traders here. There's people who are living. There are craftsmen. There's farmers. There's all the kind of standard people you would see in a homestead, right? But you know
Right.
that notice that there are a lot of ascetics here. There are a lot. And they tend to stay toward the upper part of the city, which is some kind of ancient temple was up here that they've repurposed. And of course, the rector himself is seen much more of he seems more, like you said, more religious, more ascetic in his nature. But mutants kind of takes psionic powers and see that it's a gift from the gods. They do take it in a more religious way. It's not. It's not like the old primitive thousand years ago thinking of religion, but still, it's space religion, right?
Okay.
So you have conversations with the rector, and yeah, go ahead, role play.
I'm looking around for him. I was told he's wherever he's at, so I'll go over there and politely
You're
knock on the
led.
door.
You're actually led
I'm
to him.
led there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I give a courtesy bow and offer him
Yes.
a bottle of wine wrapped up in a case of cigars.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Why the hell not?
Why the hell not? So, what is the quality of the wine?
About medium. Probably
Okay,
not
so
super
like
fancy.
$200 bottle of wine. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And the cigars. So take.
Cigars are more expensive than that. So,
Well, they probably are. Just
yeah.
take 300 credits off of your total.
All
Um,
right.
because I know you all have money of your own a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, he's happy to have them. Like I said, they're not, they're not Muslim,
Good thing.
emirs or things like that. He's like, oh, I haven't had this in quite a while. You notice that he does have scars on the desk, so good choice. And
Yay.
he says, so the legate has told me that you are a scion and you're looking at expanding your abilities.
Yes, I think there's so few of us.
Well,
And
there's
I
more.
was wanting to learn more. If I could find someone who could teach me more.
He says, well, there are more of us than you realize, and you might have noticed all of uh, the priests that are here, and you saw just coming in a good 2-3 dozen people that were kind of priestly looking as you came in. And he says that we are happy to take on new students and allow you to seek the path.
I nod.
Okay.
I do
Uh,
have a time limit for open for the next couple of months.
he says that is good. During the next 3 months, he puts you to work basically, and
Okay.
you meet several of the other scions here. And You're not joining their order, so it's not like they're going to give you all the secrets in the world, but they're happy to train a scion and give information to you without question. Of course, they are. Now, you have in the Legion, you met Legionnaire scions that trained you initially. So you already had gone through it, but that was very different. They were very militaristic in it. And it was more about what can you do and how quick and harsh can you do it. This is much more of a Zen way of looking at it. It's
Right.
much more internal and about balance and things like that. So you do various things over the next 3 months. You do a lot of physical activity because they believe that the body must be in perfect shape for the mind to be in shape and therefore for the spirit to evolve. This is their philosophy, right?
Okay.
So you do a lot of physical activity to make your body stronger, and therefore, if how many experience points you sitting on right now?
11.
11. Yeah, okay. So we're going to spend some. Are you ready?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
First of all, I want you to spend 8 of those. Okay.
All right.
And what tier bumps have you taken already?
You mean as in increasing The stats are
Yes, every tier, there are 4 things that need to be done in order to
The
go to the next
advancement.
tier, advancement. What now?
the ones I've done already for this tier is move toward perfection. Excuse me. I can't read. And extra effort.
Extra effort. And what are the other 2 that are left? Skills or tier abilities, and what's the other one? Someone help me out.
Others.
No, there are
Increased capabilities.
increased
And mo-
capabilities and
Those are your stats, yeah.
okay.
And the other one is others. Yeah.
All right. So increased capabilities, Bill. What does that do specifically? What is that that upgrade?
plus 4 points into stat points or stat pools.
Okay.
Anywhere.
So this is what I want. I want you to take that tier, and I want you to put 2 points in intellect and 2 points in might. Body.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the skill one, the one that's remaining with the skill, I do believe it also has an option there. Instead of just taking a skill, you can also take an additional tier of.
Specialize in a train that of something I've already been trained in.
No.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm
Nope.
talking about. That's not what. Let
Okay.
me finish what I'm saying. I do believe, Bill, that that also allows you to take an additional tier ability, right?
An additional
It,
ability is one of the options.
I believe it is. Correct me, please.
I was just flipping there. Spending long term, blah, 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 blah. Character advancement.
Skills.
Okay, so the other options are you could reduce the cost for wearing armor, add 2 to your recovery rolls, or select another focus ability available to you
Right.
at
There it
tier
is. Thank you very
3.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to take this one. And during your time, the focus that you're looking on working on is working on your teleportation. And you spend 3 months focusing on that, and they're happy to help you with it, right? Matter of fact, one of the aesthetics here, he doesn't teleport things to himself, but he teleports himself. So
Okay.
he's able to help you out with that. So what you want to do is go to create a new focus tier. With this is a tier 2 ability, and you're going to get an extra one. And read off one of your tier abilities to me, please, lady.
Let me open the book. Are the ones I have already written on the
Yes, please.
page?
What you have written on the page. Yes, read it. Read
For
one of them completely to me.
you can't write them completely on the page.
Oh, okay. Open the book and read it to me then.
No, I got it on a chart though. Oops, nope. Ward increases your AC, which is an enable. You have a shield of energy around you at all times that helps deflect attacks. You gain +1 to armor.
Okay.
Onslaught. It's an attack. Energy
These are
physically
tier 2,
damage.
right? Tier 2, right?
No, just Onslaught's tier. No, those are all tier 1. Only tier 2 is psychokinetics
Yeah, let's
and
read that.
mind reading.
Read the psychokinetics to me.
Psychokinetics, you can exert force on an object within short range. Once activate, your power is effective as a might pull of 10, and a might edge of 1, and an effort of 2, approximately equal to the strength if fit of capable adult human. You can use it to move objects, push against objects, and so on. You want the example to read?
Nope. I know what I
No.
want to do now.
And the
All right.
second one is mind reading.
I don't need that. I just trying to
Okay.
figure out how to create this this ability. All right.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to do. Write down teleport object. Okay. 50-foot range. If it is being held by somebody, you have to beat their level rating, their tier rank rating to take it, which is just a standard struggle roll. And it teleports to your hand directly. And it costs 3 intellect points to use it. And of course, your edge would reduce that. Lady?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, write it up like that. And as you gain tier, if you want to, higher tier versions of that will be made available, which will increase range, increase versatility of it. But for right now, during that 3 months, you've learned that you've spent 8 experience points, leaving you with 3, and you are tier 3. So go ahead and do the tier upgrading, which involves more hit points, I do believe.
Woo! Nice.
Very nice.
2, 3. Oh, okay. Oh,
Dang.
So tier
um,
now that's you don't have, well, you do have 3 experience points. You could spend them, I guess, but that gives you access to tier 3 abilities, and I do believe it's like an additional D6 hit point. What's the hit point situation with tiering up?
Nothing. That's your pool.
Oh,
You're
that's right.
you're
It
oh,
doesn't.
it's I thought it was 4 plus 1d6.
no. So when you level up, one of the options you have for your character advancement is your increased capabilities, and those 4 points are your extra health. That's
Yeah, but he already gave me the extra
I know, but
capability.
that's part of the leveling up process. So you don't get anything extra in that regard from leveling up.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Uh, as
Okay.
far as everything that
No.
I've read.
That's fine. That's fine. Although I thought there was some bonus for being a higher tier, though. I'll have to go back and read it. But that's all right.
There is. There is. Like
Are
all the different powers have tiers to it, or
Oh,
the
that's right.
focus.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All your
yeah.
abilities are
Yeah.
tier related. Thank you. That's where it is. Okay. So, yeah. So that's 3 months well spent, lady. You had the experience anyway, and it needed to be spent, and we just focused our spending. That was
And
very
if
good.
they needed a doctor, I was there to help them too.
Well, sure. You certainly helped them out, but lady is incommunicado for 3 months, guys, without question. So therefore, the Birkeland thing will be done without her. But that's okay. No, that's okay.
Couldn't it?
It's okay.
I
Okay.
thought we were going to do that right away, anyways. Like before
I
we went
thought.
off and did all these things, and before everyone started working on their own projects, because that's something we had to do. So I thought we were just going to get that done first, and then do all of our 3 month thing.
Well, that was never stated.
Oh, okay. Well, that's. Oh, I
I
thought
thought
that's
that's
what we were
what.
doing. I didn't think we were
I
going to
thought that's
sit
what
like
you said. I
3
thought.
months.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
in the same frame
No,
of
I
mind
said
as
we have to get
GOP.
it done, but with her doing that she's definitely involved. But it's okay. The Birkeland thing doesn't necessarily have to be violent. It depends on what you guys do, really.
yeah. That wasn't the plan. We were just going to give him the thing, and because that
Right.
was part of the whole plan.
That's right.
So
So I'd like to interject something here, if I may, because what as the quartermaster, and I have a Mercedes tells me what she's doing and what she's planning,
Sure.
so I understand that. Mars gives me some check in, and I know Mars well enough to know that this is he needs some me time, and he's also using that for the advantage of our team. Even though he's going to enjoy it, I get it. But I'm watching Blue throw his shit away, and after about let's say after about 3 weeks, I start to get irritated with him. I'm short with him. I don't really answer his questions. After about 6 weeks, going almost to we're about 2 months in, and I'm looking at him, and he's lost his muscle tone. He's starting to get a little flabby.
No,
he's
And,
been working out. He said
He's
he was
been
working
working
out
out.
that
He's
whole
been
time.
working out. Yeah, he's
oh,
been
I
working
thought
out.
he just said he was going to go out carousing for 3 months.
No.
I bought a hat and decided to go to the gym to stay swole and get even swoller and drink a healthy amount of alcohol.
Yeah.
In between.
I get what you're doing.
I missed out the workout part, but I was just seeing the total lack of discipline is what I saw, and I thought, there needs to be someone whipped up into shape. But he's working out. He's working out. Okay, he's cool. Never mind.
I was staying toned off. I was staying in shape.
I was gonna have some.
If I would have realized, I didn't think of it on a role playing. This is off the books. If I would have realized what I could have done, I probably would have hoarded myself out as a pilot. Like GOP hoarded himself out quite literally.
Well, you live and learn, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now you know.
I just wasn't in that mindset of I could even do that. I was thinking, I just
'cause
work out.
I am a GM that does drop time. I do that. I like it. I think you guys should be able to work on separate special things, especially people want to be crafters, people that might want to get their own home or build it up, want to start their own business.
Yeah,
I'm
see, I
100%
wasn't in
behind
that
that.
mindset
Yeah.
when
Well,
we
do you want to?
went into this.
Well, maybe as a suggestion, since he has been spending
I
3
am going to
months
do it right
working
now.
out.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah,
Tell me, Tower, how many experience points are you sitting on right now?
I gotta pull it up, but I believe 4-ish,
Okay, so
maybe.
that doesn't make sense to me. How many of the
I've been.
tier? Well, hold on a second.
Oh
How
wait,
many of the
wait.
tier bumps are you looking at? Does he know, or do I have to speak to GOP?
I gave him. Well, he has at least one currently. So, because so he's got at least one tier right now, just from the XP. So yeah, he's one step done, and I gave him the 4 points towards his his might, intelligence, and speed, and all that. That's the only thing he's done so far.
Okay,
With
so he's tier 2 and he's completed one of the tiers by upping his might, and he only has 4 experience points. Did you write down the 2 experience points I gave? Was it 2 or 3? I gave for completing the first character arc. I think it was 3, right?
Well, I'm just going off of what was last game. I don't know what he has now. Whatever he got.
I added the one that you told us to add.
Yes, but at the end of the session, I gave everybody 3.
Oh yeah, I had 4 at the end of last session, like
So
a
how
plus
is it
4.
you have so less more experience than Lady? How is that?
I thought
don't-
because I tiered. Oh, I once.
I don't have any idea how she has that much. Because that's a lot, especially if you've already spent 2. Because my character's only. My character's got 2 XP on hand, but I finished step 2 of level 2.
So you're halfway to tier 3. He's halfway to tier 3. Bill, where are
Oh,
you?
I have 5 XP on hand right now.
You have 5. So
I was halfway to tier 3 too.
and but you had 11 experience points sitting on, and I brought you to tier 3. Bill, how many XP you sitting on?
I've got 2 of the advancements complete and sitting on 4, so I've had a 12 XP.
And you
awarded.
took the 3 I gave you last time.
Correct.
So, Lady, how did you get so many XP?
Did you do the step and forget to delete the points that you had?
Well, you've done
No.
2. You've given her 2. Whatchamacallits? Interruptions.
I hadn't increased anything. All I did was change I took my extra abilities when I went up to tier 2.
Right.
But with that, I didn't have to increase anything. I mean, I didn't have to use any of the experience.
So basically,
and then all I did was move up my stats.
Hold on a second. Okay. So you basically didn't add anything to tier bumps.
Right.
Right. So that 11 is just simply completely 100% unspent. All right. So therefore, you still have the 3 left, which puts you where everyone else is, and you're halfway. Okay, I see what happened. All right, so you're not tier 3, you're still tier 2, and you have filled the 3rd and 4th spot. So the 1st and 2nd spot have not been filled yet. Do you understand how experience gain works in the game, Lady?
Kinda not, but
okay.
but I'll work with it.
Well, that must be where you are, because that makes it even. You're actually 1 less than a couple of them, but it makes sense because I've given out experience and they've shared. That's what it is. So 3 and 4 are done. 1 and 2 is undone. You're tier 2. Okay, thank you.
3 and 4 done. Okay.
Yeah, so 1 and 2.
Well, I think it's like 1 and 4, but it doesn't matter.
I thought it was more like 2 and.
Well, whatever it is, half of it's done.
Yeah.
You're halfway to tier 3, which everybody is. Once again, you have 5. What tier bumps did you do for him so far?
He should only have. Here, let me pull his up real quick, because he should only have 1 tier bump. So if he spends this next one, he'll be at 2.
Okay. Which one did you spend?
I gave him the first one where he increasing capabilities, so 4 new points to add to his stat
Right.
pools.
And what is the second one again?
Moving toward perfection, you can add 1 to your might, speed, or an intellect edge. Your
Okay,
choice.
that's perfect. Do me a favor, Towers. During this 3 months, because you're working on your body, you spend 4 of your 5, so you still have one left, and you take the second one, moving toward perfection, and you increase your might edge by 1.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, that makes sense for what you're doing. So you still have an experience points to use in game if you want, and you're halfway, just like everybody else. Everyone's halfway. Perfect. Alrighty, so that's worked out. Bill, you said you only have 2 experience points right now because you've actually leveled your character.
I'm like I said, I've spent 8 experience points on advancement, and I have 4 left
Okay,
in
I'll
my.
leave you be. I'll leave you be. You
Yeah,
you do as you
I'm
want to
fine.
do.
I think
Yeah, I'm just trying to help Lady in Tower. But because Lady
absolutely
it's hadn't spent anything, is what it looked like, right? So
gotta
sitting
spend
on,
it.
you got to spend it. But it worked out perfect though, Lady, because you have exactly what you should have now, exactly what you
and it
want.
and
And
it
here's the
moved the
thing,
story.
and it moves the story. Here's the thing, as well, Lady, because you did that, you finished that accomplishment up to a point. It's not perfect yet. You have the ability, but when we get to tier 3 abilities, you'll be able to finish that character arc. So during the process of it, you found a master, and you were able to begin to unlock it. So that's 2 steps, right? And
Yeah.
so we're doing a short story arc with that. The third step is mastering of it, which you can't do until to tier 3 anyway. Okay, so
All right.
you finished 2 steps of this character arc. Make sure you write this down. There's 1 step left. But what happens? This is why character arc is so important, guys. She finished step 1 and step 2 of her character arc. There's one more to go before she can move on to another character arc. But each step you complete gives you 2 experience points. So, Lady, you just picked up 4 more experience points.
That's nice.
That's how it works, guys. You get them from
That's
me
what
in the
I'm.
game. And let me
Yeah,
let me say this
4,
real
which
quick, Bill.
makes me 7.
Right, that sounds about right. Well, once again, you could spend that to move yourself 1 step closer to tier 4, 3, if you'd like. I would suggest you do that. Maybe take moving toward perfection to give you another edge in one of your abilities, maybe mental edge, or take the one where you get dice toward pool. Yeah, I would take one of those right now, to be honest with you. Makes sense for your
Okay.
aesthetic training. Maybe the edge.
She
Mo-
already did the
Yeah.
pool,
She didn't. She
so
didn't. No, she didn't.
you gave
You
her 2.
increase in intellect and 2 in might. That's what
That's right.
training
So I
with
did that
monks.
one, and then I did the fourth one. I'm sorry. So the second one improving your intellect edge would be an option, and the third one is what?
Extra effort.
Extra
So
effort.
you
So you could take either one of those. The edge one makes more sense to me. Adding one to your intellect edge makes more sense to me. For what the training you just did, you should probably spend it. Therefore,
You already spent it,
no, you did not.
right?
No, you did not.
you just got
You
4
just
more
got 4 more
XP.
experience points. I would spend them into improving your intellect edge by 1. That's what I would do.
Hmm?
Yeah. It makes sense for the training you just went through. But the thing is, guys, the way you get experience in this game is normally this is kind of a wrap up game, and I'm going to give you some experience at the end of the day just for life effect. But
So it
basically,
drops XP back down to 3.
yep,
My edge now in intellect is 3.
that makes sense.
Awesome.
As it should be. Yeah. All right. So um, uh, in the game, if we're doing a normal game session, every hour I'm going to throw an incursion in, basically, and that's 1 experience to one of you and 1 to another. So that's how you get experience during the game. We've seen it. But mainly
Mhm.
you get experience in this game by doing character arcs. As you see, she just finished 2 steps of an arc in 1 session. Of course, there's 3 months passing here, so it's easier to do. But you guys really need to have your character arcs wrapped up and tight, because getting those XP bumps are going to help you a lot, right? So before I go into the Birkeland and finish today's with Birkeland, let me just kind of check real quick. Lady has one more step in her character arc, and then we'll move on to something else. She has other ideas. Bill doesn't have a character arc. He needs to develop it. Although
Well,
I had said we
I
were
did.
working on the ship, right?
Getting the ship was really the party arc
Well, I just
for a while,
threw it in because we didn't
right?
start out with it properly. We didn't do that correctly. It was my fault. But you
Okay,
repairing the ship can be an arc too. But let's do like a mini
okay.
arc. So by the end of just a super mini arc, therefore by the end of today, you get 4 experience points for getting that ship up and running beautifully.
4?
4.
That seems
Yeah.
a lot.
Well,
But
no, 2
okay,
steps. Just it should be minimum 3, but I'm going to shorten it up. So just a little 2-step, get the ship going, 4 experience points.
okay.
And
Thank you.
please develop a character arc for your guy. Please do so. Right.
Yeah, I
And
will. I
you
will.
and keep in mind when you're choosing character arcs, it's very simple. It costs you, excuse me, it costs you 1 experience point to start a character arc, right? And a character arc will usually have anywhere between 3 and 5 steps. When that arc is finished, of course, you can go on and buy another one. You can have multiple character arcs going at the same time. For instance, with Bill, I don't know if he has the XP to spend it. He might, but depending on what he does with that for. You're already sitting on a few though, right? What's your total now?
I'm sitting on 8 now, and I'm
Okay.
halfway to tier 3.
So
So
what I might suggest you to do, Bill, just a suggestion, is to create a 5-point arc, a character arc that is involved in the whole mutant uprising thing you want to do, right? It's not a bad idea, but that's going to be a very long-term arc. That's going to be hard to finish.
I should
So
buy another one then.
right. So
I
make
should
that
have
like a
2.
five
Okay.
point arc with some really interesting steps in it that when you finish those steps, you get 2 points. And then create a simpler 3-step arc that's more practical and immediate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 2 experience points to do that, but in the long run, it's a lot more experience, right?
Okay.
GOP, what are we looking at with a excuse me, a character arc for you?
I need to develop my steps. I kind of know the general idea of what my arc is, and I've explained it to you. And I mean, I guess if I mentioned it, kind of here, then it might like give stuff away.
All right, don't mention it.
Uh
That's fine.
yeah. But I went over it with like I explained it to you before. I mean, I'll refresh. I'll send it to you too if you want.
Sure. Well,
Just like the
it's
overarching.
actually not important to me. It's important to you,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I know, but like you'd be the one who would be putting it into the
That's
story.
true. You're
The
right. Sorry, you're right.
so
But your arc, from what I remember and talking to you, is a pretty involved. So,
yeah.
and that one you already have. You don't have to spend for that. I gave you that free, right?
Hmm.
And I gave, I'm just using a little mini one for here for Bill today, the free one, and he's gonna spend beyond that. However, that is a bit involved, and I think it's good to have an involved character arc. I also think you should have one that's more immediate and shorter, and that would cost you an
I
additional XP.
I did, and I didn't realize it was gonna cost me, but I'll spend it because my other one that I'd already made was the establishment one, which was register as a companion and basically make money, which is what I just did.
All right,
I could read the book example, but yeah, it's basically I'm like I basically like the basically what it is you're trying to make money and get like a better reputation kind of thing.
sure.
So and that's kind of what the book has written in it. I could bring that up if you want
Yeah, no, go
to
ahead and
find it again.
read it to me.
Let's
Reputation as a easy slut.
right. What?
Sorry.
No, I'm not. I am a high
Sorry.
class fraud. Dab nabbit.
Well, no, I'm taking the Firefly route on this. It is official and legal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I'm like I'm like what's her name from Firefly?
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
drawing a
She a
blank.
companion. Yeah, go ahead and read it to me.
Yeah.
She's pretty.
Okay. So let's see. So opening. Or so you want to prove yourself. It's establishment. You want to prove yourself as someone of importance. This can take many forms: socially, with your order, financially, or even romantically. Um, and so opening assessment. You assess yourself as well as who you need to prove yourself to, which I think I did that. Um, steps, appearance matters. You improve your look. That enhance your wardrobe, spruce up your house. Well, I don't
That
really have
definitely
a house,
happened.
but
Yeah.
that definitely happened. Step 3, self-aggrandizement. You need to get the word out to get people talking about you. Um, yeah, there might be many such steps. Then there's step 5, because most things are like 5 steps. Climax, grabbing attention. You do something big, like host a party for influential people or producing a
Cool.
play that you wrote. I haven't done that.
All right, this
And
was
then
the second one. So make sure you burn experience points for that. I get what you're doing. All right, so you finished 2 steps of that. Is what you've done.
okay.
2 steps are finished.
So
So you
I
get
lose
4.
one, gain 3.
You
Or,
lose
yeah,
1 XP, but you gain 4, so three.
yeah,
3 additional.
total.
For today's effort. And once again, when we're doing something where I do drop time, like I will do on occasion because I think it's important, you can really get character arc stuff working, and it's a good chance to pick up some XP. Right, and as you're seeing, everyone's doing it today, and that's good. So cool. So that one you have, and then the more extended one as well. Anytime, just keep in mind, guys. Anytime you feel that you finish a step of your arc, you have to tell me, and I have to approve it. And more than likely, I will. I mean, unless I think you're being stupid.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just you always have to inform me if you think you finished the character art. You got to tell me because keep in mind that's 2 XP for finishing a step on your arc.
Chester, I'm probably gonna want to have some kind of home back in that other town too, or at least a room.
Do you have any money to do so?
Uh,
We get 3,000 a month for from the Legion for
That's
our
true.
job.
You
Yeah.
do. So you do have money to you earn 9,000 in that period, lady. All of you guys
no,
earn 9,000.
I don't want it. I don't want a fancy. It's just a single room with a bathroom.
Yeah, well, I mean that you can pay for that pretty easily, or you can
Okay.
just take an aesthetic cell. They'll give you one of those when you're visiting.
Mhm.
You don't have to
Okay.
pay for that at all. It's very small. It's just a place to sleep. But in the rectory, they definitely have places for you.
Okay.
But just to keep in mind, that's a good point, Bill. Thank you. Everyone should add 9,000 to their credits. Everybody.
Well,
Ooh, 9,000 C.
8,100,
Why?
and I'll take the because
Since he gets
10% goes into
300.
it goes into the pool.
10%. That's right. So everyone gets 2,700. Oh no, sorry, it was
2,007.
9,000,
What?
right? So everyone gets 8,100. Thank you, Bill.
Mhm.
All right. So, uh, very good. And last would be Tower. Now, Tower, we already did a little bit of buffing on you. Your character's working your body. That's fine. But
Yeah.
what is your character arc? With your character Tower. I mean, as you can see, this game playing with us is a bit different than sitting at the weekend game at the gaming shop, right? Because all that's about
Yeah.
over there is, roll your dice, kill it, and take teeth, right? That's all that is. This is different.
Yeah.
You're in a campaign now, and therefore you're playing your character. And you're trying to be. It's not just about completing missions and moving the campaign forward. It's also about developing your character. This is what campaign role playing is. Therefore, you have to think about where do you want your character to go? What is his ambition? I mean, he's a pilot. He's a really good pilot, but what is his ambitions for life? This is part of campaign role playing.
Yeah. I'd say one of my character arcs would be, just us getting, well, I know it was a party arc getting the ship.
Which is
That
done.
was like a big one. Yeah, that was a big one for me. Um, well, in the long term, I want to have a fleet of ships. Be like the captain of a fleet. Maybe have a few hired ships and all that in the long term.
Okay. So we need that's at least the five stepper to develop a fleet. Okay. Is there anything more immediate?
When we're not doing stuff with the party, becoming a well-known like commercial pilot in the city, like for the planet that we're on at the time.
Because you guys are leaving the planet.
Well, just anywhere. Become a noble
So you
commercial
want to
pilot.
become a known pilot, a famous.
Yes.
GOP, I didn't read through all of the suggestions, but I'm assuming there is gain fame, a character arc in there somewhere.
Establishment, the one I had kind of works for that. I'm sure there's another thing that will that might fit a little bit better, but I mean it's close, you know.
Okay, well
But
let's
I'll look.
help him
I'll look.
develop two. He gets one for free, which I guess I gave you guys all one for free, and then the second one, the immediate one, gain fame, it's going to cost him one XP. But I would say in the 5-step one to have a fleet of ships, step one is finished. You have a ship now. So you've started that journey. So therefore, write down 2 experience points on your character sheet. Tower.
Right.
Alrighty, and then if you can help him, GOP, develop that long term 5-step one, and then a more
You
immediate
said
3
two,
one
right?
to
2 or 3?
no, the two experience points you gain
2.
for
Okay.
finishing
I was making sure.
step one, right? And help him develop a shorter, more immediate one for fame, if you could, please, GOP.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think there's a few. I'm just scrolling through them right now. I think there's a few that could work.
Yeah, no, they're
So.
all suggestions, but it's not hard to do, really. You just gotta flesh it out. It's basically how Monty decided to do writing up your background, right?
Hmm.
Because a lot of games, when you sit down at the table, I require you have a background written already. What he's doing, instead of worrying about backgrounds, he's working about the future. It's a very similar thing he's doing, and I think I love it actually. I think it's super clever.
Yeah, and
But
most of the important background stuff is tied to the Legion stuff, anyways. So.
it
'Cause-
is, and it's also developed when you're developing your other things as well. And they give you all kind of suggestions. The book is well written. It answers all the questions you want, but I'm not
Mhm.
surprised. Anyway, all right. So during that period, you guys get everything done that needs doing. And let's just do it this way. 3 months have passed. Bill is done with his work, and the ship's looking good. Lady comes back, and there's something different about her. She's certainly dressing different. And uh, old Blue
Hard to tell.
is buff. Bill is greasy and dirty, but he's accomplished a great thing. And GOP is looking quite dapper,
Mhm.
and he itches every
That's
now and
fine. Oh, that's okay. My healing factor will
then.
Why
help.
are you walking funny, Gob?
Roll pecs, roll pecs. Okay.
I just look at the time.
Yeah, ooh, he's got a very pricey watch on his arm, by the way.
Yeah.
How'd you get that watch
Um,
there, buddy?
Well, I've been busy. Like,
Yeah, explains.
are we going to
Explains
now
why.
just display our how much money we made and for the coffers now
Well, you
because we
guys give
haven't
your
really talked.
percentages in. So are you going to give that 110,000 you made?
Yeah, it was a
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
ridiculous amount
Uh,
of money.
are you going to give that 10% to Bill or keep it to yourself?
Because that's an entire ship's worth of credits. Well, I'm gonna first see how much everyone else is gonna don't put into the pot.
They
So
all.
I look over. Hmm. I just want to see it. Just like see them empty out their mostly empty pockets.
Well, they all put
Like
1,200 in or so, right?
yeah. Like
Yeah, I'll show you what I put into it, and I take you aboard the Brega and get everyone in there. Fire up the engines. As you get inside, you see the little Vespa. What is it called again? The kite.
The kite,
The
yeah.
kite is like sparkling, man. It is shining. It looks pristine. There's
What
all
color
the
is it?
paint detail is fresh. It's black and yellow. Hello. It has everything. All the chrome is
It's a
spit polished,
bumblebee.
man, and it can fly right out of the back cargo bay. which is also loaded.
It's
Well, the
actually
cargo bay, everything is in.
It's actually a belly drop with this ship.
Oh, it's a belly drop. Okay, yeah. And I take them out for a spin and put pot and have a Blue get behind the controls and say, "Take her
But
out,
I'm
man.
gonna do
Let's go
some
around.
shit he didn't know was even possible with that control stick.
Why don't you take it
Before-
around? Woo! Why don't you take one? Go around the once around the orb here."
before we leave,
Hey,
I'll
Bill, can the cockpit have shag purple carpet interior?
Yes. Required.
I just feel like that and some pink fuzzy dice are justifiable.
I'll drop down 11,000 as my my cut towards the
The shag carpet.
the group pot of money. Like, so I just saw everyone else put their money in, so I like, oh well, I guess I'll put, here's a little change, and I put down 11,000 into the
Yeah,
into the
as he
Where
comes
did
over
you
and
get
scans the data pad, it's like,
$11,000, GOP?
What's up?
Where did you find? What did you do to spare $11,000?
can't you smell money?
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
okay, what's Brooklyn?
Okay. So you guys take the Bragda out, and Bill has her spit cleaned and shined of that natural 20. The thing is looking really good. The interior is nice. There are actually 8 on this ship. There are 8 individual rooms that can be taken. And they're not big; they're small, as you would expect on a space vehicle. This isn't a luxury yacht. This is it's actually is a more like was originally probably used in as a military ship. It's just way out of date, and this is probably like a escort destroyer or something like that. Is what it was.
Oh
But
no.
of course, well, it's been re-rigged since, and it doesn't have those setups now. Bill could do things if he wanted. But anyway, so it's got kind of a military style room size. There's 8 of them. The captain and the quartermaster's rooms are slightly bigger. Um, there is a head in here. It's a pretty good size head actually, with an adjoining shower. There is a mess, which means a kitchen and a sit down area for that. Is a large cargo in the back with 20-ton cargo. There's the drop ship access, which replaces the escape shuttles, by the way. So your escape shuttle is that kite. Keep that in mind. And he's got the weaponry up to date. Now, Bill, because you guys have licenses, he has put actually Legionnaire weaponry on this ship.
Yes, I
Nothing
have.
restricted,
Yeah,
but this is a full force bad boy, and it originally was a military vehicle anyway. So
and jet
you
and jetpacks.
and sure,
Had to
okay,
spring for jet.
yeah,
Does
gotta have
it, does
string
it have
jetpacks.
both turbo lasers and point defense cannons?
But what would be really cool? I don't know if you have time for it, Bill, but it would be neat because I chose this picture because it was exactly what we needed. But if you
Uh-huh.
could take this image and maybe do a drawing of it in a bay, maybe even in our bay, which is
That would be
here.
fun. Let me
I
I'm
just
gonna
don't know if you have the
screenshot it.
time. Here's what the garage looks like as well.
Okay, let
But
me
you
post
could
it.
make it look whatever you want, really. It doesn't matter. I just thought it might be nice to see the after view, after repair
Said
view.
black with some orange stripes.
Well, I just don't know if he has time for it. That's a lot of work, I think. Anyway,
Okay.
so
And then
Do we
let's
have
see.
dimensions of this thing?
I will work on that. I need to go
Okay.
look through the rules and find out about vehicle stuff. I didn't notice going through initially, but they must have something on vehicles. If not, I'll go over to Drive Through RPG and find something. Maybe it's in the Strange or in one of the other ones. But I picked up Origin as well. I didn't see if there was anything in there very useful for us here. But I do plan on doing more Cipher stuff in the future. I like it, and I want to start a campaign dead from it, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that's a different conversation. So you take the Bragd out, you fly it around. She's in great shape. She flies beautifully. Tower, and everything looks really good. Come back down. You guys have discussion. Maybe you talk a little bit what you've been doing the past few months, and the conversation of Birkeland comes up because you guys need to go get that done. Actually, it would have already been done. So let's do what
Yes.
GOP
Yeah.
had said, and that happens first, and then we'll go back to that in the beginning, at the end. Sorry. So you guys got to go talk to Birkeland. Just to refresh the listeners, they made a deal. And they went to the IAA and talked to the legate. He wants access to the Trans Aegis station, and the IAA gave you a pass for him. You let a few days go by, because it's smart, and you go back and you talk to him and give him his thing. So how do you guys want to do this? He is in the ends. You know where he is,
Mhm.
and how do you want to do it?
Well, I mean, we've already walked in the front before,
Yeah, you did.
so I mean that's kind of where we would be expected to come from, anyways.
Right, and you know where
Um.
he is. You know the building is in.
Yeah. Okay. So let's kind of follow. Head over. We talked to that pimp, if I recall, last time too, and he was the one who brought him out for us. So
Right, because he's a shapeshifter, so we don't really know who he is until he tells us.
Birkeland, yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
So
true.
before we go in, though, I would like um, one of us, I mean, somehow to be able to see if we can't determine or be able to get some kind of tracking system or be able notification system on him. So when he does transform, we can figure out a biosignature, a frequency that he communicates to other people on, or like his subordinates or his tech. Since he
yeah.
is AI, the psionics is, I don't know. Is there any like can psionics deal with AI at
Nope.
all in this world? Is that okay?
Zero.
So
Would be a no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would
If
be a no.
he catches us trying to pull some shenanigans, we're probably gonna die.
Yep.
And since this is a flashback, and all the other stuff that we did would just be, one of those things where it's like those random things that go through our minds as we're slowly fading out.
Well, yeah,
So,
and
What are
you
you
got to
scared?
well, no, you got
yeah,
to well, no, you got to keep in mind what's your mission, I guess, because
true.
Bill is thinking like a recon guy. It's what he would
Mm-hmm.
do, right?
Yeah.
But how involved are you guys going to be in Birkeland, right? Because you're not staying on planet. You've decided to leave planet.
True.
Well, no, and I think he does too. I mean, he's figuring out a way to be able to move all wherever he wants to go.
Yep,
Um, and who's to
They're
say
gonna
that's gonna
track him through the card
if
anyway.
he's
they
if
are.
he's gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna try to,
They're
but
gonna
the
they're
guys
gonna they're gonna they're gonna get him.
they
It just
they're
won't be
not.
us.
He's he's a pigeon. I mean, he's a big deal here, but they're gonna use him to get to his you know work up the chain. I assume.
That
Um,
may be. But let
but
him.
my thing is, if the guy's going to be a thorn in our side, I want to be able to see him coming.
Well, I
But
don't know why you
that's
would
my
be a
game.
thorn in his side.
Okay. Well, if everyone's like you're acting like a dummy, then you stop.
I get what
Like
I
a
get what
dummy.
you mean. I
I
just
get
think
it.
it's more of a risk to do it, and he catches us, and then we end up in some deep situation against some really tough enemies.
That's fine,
Uh,
dude. I will drop the level 8 gravity disruptor and kill us all.
Fair.
that's
That's how
true.
you do it.
That's true.
That's how you do it.
You're holding a thermal detonator.
I
You
just
do.
realized he looked a lot.
You'll die.
He looks like a modern day version of Darth Vader.
He does.
He looks like a inverted Lemmy from Motorhead.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
fair
I
enough.
remember the
Yeah.
Robo bitch.
But do keep in mind that he's surrounded at all times by four XO8s.
I want to shoot
I
with
thought
him.
it was 3.
Well, no, it's actually 4.
You just don't see the fourth one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's
I
just
wouldn't
go get
know,
this
I
deal done.
passed out last time we talked
All
to
right,
him.
we got 10 minutes. No
Yep,
fighting.
let's
That's
get
all
it
right.
done.
All
Let's
right,
go.
so you go in, you talk to the pimp who's sitting there, and as you're asking to talk back to Berklin, and because you finish your mission and stuff like that, one of the prostitutes standing next to him transforms in front of you, and there's Berklin, and
Whoa.
he's like, well, I guess you got it done, huh?
I smile and give him a little, nod, bow kind of thing.
I dropped my jaw.
He says, "Well, come with me," and he starts heading over that building. And as he does, every few meters he passes a one of these XO8s that were, kind of hidden in the recesses around here. Step out and follow behind him, or behind you, actually. And he goes into his place, and you see there's a lot of. Last time you guys only went into the front room and talked to him, but he goes in the back room, and you see this factory building, and of course it is a factory building, and there's a lot of people in here working on something. You don't know what they're working on, but there's a lot of activity in this building. And he goes up to an actual office on the upper tier that oversees the entire factory. And he goes into the office. Of course, the 4 XO8s are following him. You see, there's a bunch of ladies, mutant ladies working in the office. He goes in the back,
Mhm.
and he sits down and he says, "Please have a seat."
I mean, I take a seat.
He says, "Well, do you have it?"
I pull the card out of my pocket. I present it to him.
Okay. He takes it from you with a smile. He presses a panel on the side of his desk, and the whole desk just transforms into a digital nerd's delight. There's computer screens and all kind of fancy stuff here, holographic screens and everything. It's super advanced. He takes the card, he puts it into a slot, and it brings up all the data. And he says, "Oh, the IIA. Oh, they're so quaint." And he presses single button, and you can see it from your other side of the eye of the holographic screen. The code that he instantly found that the IA put in their track is wiped out. He says, "Thank you for doing business. It was very good. How's Billy?"
Oh, we don't know. We haven't seen him.
"Oh, well, he'll land on his feet, big boy like that. That's what he gets when messing with whores, though." He stands up and he says, "Well, I don't want our interaction to go unrewarded, completely." So he goes over. He opens up a little cabinet on the side behind his desk, and he pulls out a large Magnum-sized bottle that literally has gold leafing in the print. And he hands it over to you. He says, "This is from the old world." And you see a thing, and it has written on it. It's very faded. It says Campan Champagne, maybe.
Hmm.
Oh, nasty.
He says
Champagne?
says this is quite old. It's quite valuable. You could either drink it or sell it. This has been preserved and kept for a very long time.
Whoa.
But thank you kindly.
He
It
bows his head
sounds
to you.
delicious.
It is. I have a case more. Of course, the question that comes to your mind immediately is, how does a robot taste anything? But whatever. Um, so yeah,
No,
unless you guys go do anything,
he's got
your
Well,
your
You want
interaction
an
is done.
expensive? You want an expensive case of vinegar? Come on, let's get. I don't.
vinegar.
Well, yeah,
you.
it's not champagne after 12 or 5,000 years. Oh, dude, it's
Mhm.
not.
It's probably not good, but that's okay. It's probably a collector's
It's a
item at
It
this
price
is a
to
point.
collectible
pay.
thing. Yes, it is.
But I
It
could
is a
use it to
price.
get the rust. I could use it to clean the rust off of our anything.
No,
So,
don't you fuck.
Oh
Please
my!
don't
Anyway,
I'm
clean
gonna.
the rust.
anyway,
Yeah,
let's
let's get
finish
out
it
of
up,
here
guys.
before
Let's
he
wrap it up.
changes
Let's
his
wrap it up.
mind.
Go ahead,
Yes.
GOP.
I give him a polite bow
yeah.
and we take our leave. That's because I mean, why would I want to stay in this room with the potential of dying any longer?
I throw my level 8 gravity disruptor and run. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. We'll leave. Game over. Thank you,
The
Chester.
end of the story. Yes, good. That was a
Before I
nice
do any-
world you built here.
Wow, it looks
Before I
like my
do-
scream my stream has gone off. What happened? How
Oh,
long's
no,
that been like
Oh.
that?
It's still
No, it's
running. It
still
says it's
running, but
live.
it was dead there.
Still showing live. That's weird.
I wonder what happened to that, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, all right, so perfect. Today we did a lot of cleaning up. We got our ship ready. We finished the Birkeland. Little bit of cleanup that needed to do. These guys, I think, have got a better idea about character arcs, and they've established and earned XP off of them. And they've moved forward. So, alrighty then. So the question I would have for you guys before we get off air today is now you have your ship, you have a Legionnaire license, you have a Neophyte level IIA license. What do you want to do? So I can set up some preparation.
Space pirates?
Well, I don't know.
I
Not
do
at
think
first. I think maybe we should roam around the other system and look for artifacts.
well we
We could do
definitely
that.
could do that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that'd be.
we should we should do a little bit more on the planet first, but we have enough now that we can.
We have a real quick. We have a former Legionnaire member who is highly intelligent in scouting on that space station. Correct?
Communications.
He's a
Is
communications
he
officer. Yeah.
is he still in the Legion?
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
he
he
is.
re-upped. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was going to see if he'd want to come. If there'd be a way for him to
yeah,
come
but
with us.
I don't feel like running NPC. But maybe we'll
Well,
get
I mean,
Rabbit
as
or
a
Rosa
two,
in here. Okay, so continue with the ideas of what you want to do. So we have artifact hunting, which is certainly doable.
That sounds like fun. I'd like to go, go
Pirate
explore the
hunting.
universe, go in outer space. Yeah.
So-
I just want to say this on a standpoint, Chester. Would it make sense for us to go to that space station again and then inquire about what exactly is around this planet? We know that there's that jump point, but like, what are the other planets?
Right. Well,
What
you
is
don't
in
need
our
this.
immediate proximity?
I get you. You don't need the space station for that. You already know that. As far as what's around here, like I said, this is way out in the boonies of Imperial space where you are right now. So there are planets that are nearish, but they're very outback places. To get into the Imperial Octian Empire space would take quite a journey, but your ship is more than capable of doing so. Once again, the Imperium itself is pretty peaceful and kind of wrapped up. Most of the action is happening beyond the junction point, which is why I put it there. That's also where all the artifact hunting and pirate hunting would be up in there, because the closer you get to the Imperial throne world, the safer it gets, right? Now, of course, you guys could go on to other edges away from where you are, especially if you went over to the consortium edge. There's a lot of activity going on there because they are the enemy and they use the Faust Industries as their proxy in battle, is what they do. You also have the Chinese basically on another border, and they're always insidious as usual. Or you can stick in this area and go through the junction and seek what's beyond it.
So, yeah, what I think would be an idea. We're only 30 points away with the the IAA, or yeah, the IAA.
Yeah, to become an
Um,
agent level. Yeah.
so I almost feel like we should maybe see what we can do for the agency to at least reach that higher rank, so that way when we head out, we have a little bit more resources to do our other things with.
Yeah, it's not a
That's
bad idea
that that's my
because you have
thought.
no authority
So
right now. But
yeah,
if you're an
very
agent, you would have
minimal.
authority.
Yeah.
Some anyway.
So, lady, what do you think? What would you like to do next session?
She said.
Well, if you want to do
Yeah,
if you want the extra points, the reputation points, we could look for another bounty that's the IA has out.
Or you could just talk to the Legate directly if that's what you want to do. Okay, so
Well, actually, we don't have to. We can just use the pad, find
Yep.
out what else is up.
That's true.
Mm,
Or you could talk to one of the other people. He did say that most of your communications should be within the agency, which you
Yeah.
could do. You could do that. So we got that. We have artifact hunting, tower. I answered your question, Tower. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking artifact hunting's not a bad idea. Just so we can get some more money. I mean, before, and I want to know your opinion on this, GOP Bill. Before we go like ultra deep space, it might be worth doing some artifact hunting, trying to raise our credit with the I believe it's called. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's try to raise our credit, get some artifacts, make some money, and then like switch out our kite for a lance. What was it called? The Lancer.
Yeah, Lancer.
Yeah, and then we can get the Lancer, and then just arm the shit out of it. So when we do go into deep space, we have an actual fighting vessel. So in the worst case scenario, I jump in that sucker, and we's defended.
Yeah, no, those
Because
Lancers
that's a
are
pirate.
Or
brutal.
That's a
remember,
pirate
you
player.
lose kite when you put the Lancer in there. Therefore, that is also
Exactly.
your escape pod.
Well, the thing is the Lancer is better than the kite in every way.
that's true.
Well,
It's
just to keep in
faster. It's
mind,
more armed. All go inside of it.
during the past 9 months or 10 months, we'll say that your characters have been decommissioned on this planet, and especially that past 3 months we just spent thinking about these things and looking into it. You know that the ancient artifact market is very lucrative, ridiculously lucrative, and a lot of people they're willing to risk imprisonment with the money. However, you guys are licensed. Now, you're not very high level licensed, but if you did improve your licensing, like a couple of you were suggesting, for you guys, you would have very little legal problems with going and hunting artifacts. The only thing you would run into is if you kept them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guaranteeing you, as the GM grins, I will tempt you.
I'm sure.
You know what's better than temptation of GM and what the power is? Money, a shit ton of money.
Oh,
We
that's a lot
can
of
buy
money.
some
It is
most.
lucrative. Yeah.
We could, you guys, if we were to do artifact hunting, we like that could be a way to fulfill my character arc even, because we could literally make a fleet out of this, like our own militia fleet. Like nobody can stand in our way.
Now,
If we were to get a
Bill
frigate and
hasn't
like
said
2
anything,
destroyers.
but his thinking is probably not so alien to that because he is thinking that mutants need to be free.
Yeah, I mean, we could really make a mutie, like, you know what I'm saying? We could have a
Smuggle
fleet and we
mutants
could help
out of.
settle people.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
about smuggling mutants out of someplace? You
Do
know.
that too.
I'm thinking.
Oh, that'd be
partly
cool. That's
illegal.
why yeah, that'd be fun. Like, what if like Berkland here becomes like, a resource for our smuggling? I mean, there's all kinds of fun stuff we could do. So,
And
like,
you haven't gone to the
I'm
maze
thinking
at all.
I think anything to do with the actual like artifacts though, let's just do through the IIA so it's like legal because we don't want to be on the bad side of the Legion.
sure,
But
yeah,
smuggling
no,
of that, but making a fleet, I think, like you were saying too, if we were to get a fleet and like recruit other muties, we could have like a serious force for good. We'll be like the Space Navy. Be great.
Well, I think we're all kind of aligned. So it's like, artifact hunting for the IIA to boost up our cred and get the and
Yeah,
get some.
and that gets us better weapons, which means we could, if we get attacked by pirates or whatever, we could royally fuck them.
Let's just remember, though, don't touch the artifacts. Use
Well-
something to scoop them up with or something like that.
Fair point.
So are we in agreement on the sense of maybe trying to get some artifacts, and before we go Deep Space Nine and shit, we at least try to get a Lancer and get it out? Or maybe even if we do get a lot of money, maybe we could even upgrade our current ship. But I still think getting the Lancer and kitting it out would be our best bet.
Right. And
Because the Titan's just an escape pod.
Right, and there are many
Really?
options in that regard. There are. Let's not get ahead of ourselves before the money's in the bank. However, I will set up a bunch of planets beyond the Nexus point, the loci point, and I will prepare that. Do keep in mind, artifact hunting is dungeon delving, though.
Awesome.
That's fine. That's fun.
Okay. Alrighty then. Cool. Well, I will get that done. Thank you all for watching. Dave, particularly. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Love you.
He's a blessed
We all
being,
love you, Dave.
by the way.
You're great.
Yes. And we will talk to you guys next week. Keep in mind, 2 days we have Drone Recorded Ultimate Edition. I'm not sure what we're doing this week.
The Cross Comics?
Oh yeah,
Doesn't he
Rick is coming. That's right, Rick's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe John Diller too. All right then. So we'll talk to you next time, guys. Thank you all very much. Later.